and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President-elect, you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they come on board to do that. We are aware of people saying witch hunting, but I don't think it's witch hunting when you have to account for your stewardship, but it has to be done in a way that is well-established, entity with reputation to make sure that it audits and make sure that it reports to the public the findings.
Sometimes people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What would be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
Although in different positions, I ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
During the campaigning, you talked a lot about the country's youth, who are the majority of the population. Mr. President-elect, we know majority of them are unemployed, which some people say is a danger to the country's stability and peace. What plans do you have for the people of Liberia, especially the youth, in terms of job creation, in terms of having faith in moving the country forward? What do you have for them?
We came with a mantra that talked about, first we have a platform, and then we have in a brief platform that talks about arrest, meaning agriculture, roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. We believe these are areas in which we can jumpstart. And in those areas, we believe that our young people who are in the majority, they need to be equipped. We need to open opportunities for them to be trained and be marketable. We also have to make sure that the quality of education that will prepare them for the job market. But to do these, we have to be able to impress our partners and investors, the private sector investment, to make them feel that we are here for business, and this business, their investment will impact the young people, but the young people need to be trained. And we know that there are things that we can jumpstart that could bring the relief to the public. Like I have said, there is an outgoing government. There are a lot of areas in which we can begin to alleviate the suffering of the people. We're going to examine those areas, like where we know that the prices of commodities, essential commodities like rice and things, where we know that there have been some tariffs that we can work with right away, the petroleum products and some of these things here. We want to do those things that will begin to alleviate. But I have said that in the first 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. That means these critical road conditions, we lessen them, because once you improve the road, the travel, the prices of commodities, all of that have reflected. On the job market, we're going to be very cautious because people have a lot of expectations in government, but in government, we have to know what we're inheriting, and that's what the transition team is working with. I come with a knowledge and with experience and a commitment to make Liberia a different country, a country in which the young people, our women, will know that it is time for them to be relieved, and we come to make them know that, yes, it's not going to be an overnight thing, but we come with a serious commitment to make sure that we make life easier for them.
You talked about the women.
Yes.
Any plans for women empowerment in Liberia?
Very much so. And, I have worked with women. When I was vice president of Liberia, one of the areas in which a lot of my first few months were utilized were with the marketing association. I worked with them until we got them organized, until we got money to create a real LMA that will become independent. That's why you see that the government, with all their muscling, they can tamper with them. We made sure that there was a law firm that put together their constitution to protect them, that we provided money for them to get a business entity that put them together to teach them some business. And those areas where mostly women control. Besides that, we intend to bring on board women, capable women. And I want to say, we don't want any token relation. We want people who are competent and capable and deserve the positions they get. Gender issues have always been issues close to my heart. And women involvement, we want to make sure that that is ensured. But I can tell you, the Liberians do understand where we're coming from. We want to make them know, we build a confidence that, yes, rescue is here, relief is here, but we have to move it at a level that we don't give any false assurances to anybody.
Let's look at the health system in Liberia. You mentioned it during your campaign. A lot of people say it's either non-existent or, Liberians would have to go to neighboring countries or even, southern part of the continent to go seek for medical attention. Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this? Because it's a serious issue.
I have worked with the health sector when I was in government, and you will see that we have Jamale, where now they do, people can go and do their examinations instead of going to Ghana. We have in mind to increase more of that on a regional basis to make sure that people can go somewhere instead of coming all the way Monrovia to check there. A lot of people say the person just sat down and died. People don't just sit down and die. But that there will be possibilities that people will know at an early stage the condition of their health. Besides that, we want to open opportunities for all our hospitals and clinics to be functional. And when I say functional, there's a belief in a country that once you build a building, it's a clinic. But once you build a building, it's a school. We want to make those things real. That when we build a hospital, it has the right people, and those people will be paid. The nurses, people, all who are responsible will be looked after. Because even those who look after people, they themselves need to be looked after.
But Mr.
We want to make them
President-elect,
function.
that costs a lot of money. How do you
costs
plan
money.
to finance it?
It costs money. But let me tell you, Liberia is not working. Everything that we are doing, there have been a lot of work put in the health sector. How should it function? What we need in Liberia is implementation. We're not beginning as a new country. Everything is on paper. What we need is to make sure that we function according to those guidelines that have been set up. We implement those things that have been documented over the years. And I want to believe that we are not in there alone. There are partners who are anxious to see a government that is committed to make sure that these things function and that they are willing to work with us. Even as at now, we have made a lot of contracts already for medical supplies. I have been to Arizona, Project Shield. They've given a container load of medical supplies. But we have to make sure that these things reach their proper destination, not ministers opening their private clinics, not people standing there along the way. So we are aware, and the system is in place. We have to implement what we said.
Mr. President, like you talked about Liberians taking Liberia back to where it should be. What do you mean by that? And how do you plan to do that?
Well, we say where it should be because everybody remembers the good old Liberia, but we have to understand that the good old Liberia had not always been the good old Liberia for all Liberians. So taking it back means that there are some things that we're working right that we need to, but we need to go further than that. Population has increased. Take Monrovia, for example. When it used to be 350,000 people, now it's over 1.5 million. And you know the social services are not there. We haven't coped with the social services. We have to make sure that we go back to where we were when things were good, but we have to see that situations have changed. For example, you take the city of Monrovia, there are no streets. Movement is difficult. The streets are filthy. The Liberians have seen that. And right now, this is why you have this mass movement where people are voluntarily going in the street for cleaning. That means they know what's supposed to be. They are aware of it. But they need a leadership that will make them come back to recognize who they are and put a value on their lives.
Mr. President, like before we go, you talked about looking at how people voted during the last election, and analysts are telling me that it looks like the country is sharply divided. How do you plan to unite the country? And do you think there are any major takeaways from this recent elections, or what other countries can learn from the Liberian recent general election?
We want to thank the Liberians, including the outgoing president, for seeing the need. I did that before. And I think we all should know that we serve people and that when the time comes for us to leave, we should leave gracefully. Everybody is commending Liberia for that. But at the same time, the Liberians themselves were looking for a change. They were committed to making sure. I'm reflecting on the night of the election. There are a lot of things that could have happened, and the Liberians stood to make sure they protected their votes. For me, this is saying to me, we are yearning for something that you said you would give us, and we want it. And I believe this is the way it should go. When people want to change, give them the chance to choose their leader, and to make sure that we all support that. This is democracy, and I believe in it. And I want to say we are here not to repeat those things that brothers yearning for this kind of change, but to make sure that we provide that leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. President-elect, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. So I'd like to say good evening to you. Good evening, and I'd like to say, how are you this wonderful time? My name is Sheku Koroma, and tonight we'll be going over to our county correspondents to know from them exactly what's happening in the various counties here in Liberia. So whatever the case is and however it's going to be, like, I'd like to say welcome, and let's have some powerful and wonderful time together here this time. Without further waste of time, it's already 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. I definitely know that Gibson Jeru will be coming on not too long, and so we will waste no time, but we'll be going to Bomi County and see whether we can take our correspondent here. Mohammed Sharif is our correspondent in Bomi County. Mohammed, how are you?
Yeah, so good. Thanks this evening for joining Bomi on your platform. And like I said, Bomi is okay this evening.
Okay, Mohammed Sharif, tell us exactly what's happening in Bomi County.
So Bomi is fine as usual. Just like another great news coming in for the people of Bomi, where a group of company entered Bomi today, and we're bringing together the Bomi Legislative Caucus to sign an agreement, a kind of MOU or contract with they call them the Congo Money Limited. They are here to take, because for the first company that you talk about, Ulanco and other people that operated the Blue Lake, now being operated by Western Cluster. They left something called waste, and that waste now there are people. There's a certain company called the Congo Money Company. They have interest into that waste, which is the black sand. So now they have come in country and came directly to Bomi County, either actually with the caucus of Bomi County through the Liberian government. And today there was the signing ceremony for the entire contract.
Okay, did they tell you how Bomi County citizens will benefit?
And so in the contract, one key thing talk about employment, where the company will ensure that out of 100%, Bomi citizens should be prioritized, where they give Bomi 95% employment rate. Part of the MOU that was read today to the citizens, the company will be employing 95% of the 100%, staff or let's say employees that they need to work, with them. And then the remaining 5% will be other people that you call it experts that will be coming out of the country, to form part of this all entire activities. And the citizen also, or the county stands to benefit every year $400,000 United States dollars.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Sharif, for talking to us tonight.
Yeah, so let me tell you, and too, before I leave you, due to the numerous protests continue to exist within Western Liberia, with the Kinjal being of no exception, and Western Cluster that is also operating in Bomi County is of no exception, and then even the Bauchico Mining Company operating in Bapuru. Yesterday there was very, hinted or protest there. So from that background, there's group like the Western Region Journalists Association calling on President Joseph Walker to prioritize, the strategic interest rather than the company or those concession companies.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Sharif.
Let me thank you, Sekou, for joining Bomi tonight on your platform.
Mohammed Sharif is our correspondent there in Bomi County. We'll now go over to Henry Boluma, who is our correspondent there in Bapulu County. And so Henry Boluma will be telling us what's happening in that part of the country. My name is Sheku Lansana Shapewai Nyong Pao to in the Waikoroma. We can have Boluma now. I don't know what's going on. But we will go over to Magibi County and bring in Benson Matis Moko, who will let us know exactly what's happening there in that part of the county. That's Magibi County, Kakata City. As soon as we get Benson Matis Moko, we'll definitely let you to know what they will be telling us. Unfortunately, it seems that Benson is very much busy. But let's go over to Banga City and take Rancy Clark, who's always there to give us information here tonight in Bong County. This is the talking point. This is where you have the opportunity to speak out issues, and this is where we discuss issues about our country. Mark Rogers, can we go over to bring Mike Rogers here tonight? And if we have Mike Rogers, definitely we'll let you know exactly what's happening there in Grand Cape Mount. And as soon as we get Mark Rogers, we'll let you know what's happening in Grand Cape Mount County. Quickly tonight, okay, Mark Rogers, I don't know what's going on with Mark. We will try that again. Apparently the network is getting a little bit crazy here. We'll definitely try on that tonight. I'm trying to get Mark Rogers right now and hope and pray that we're getting on time here this evening. If you just joining us, I'd like to say welcome and welcome here tonight. Mike is yet still to be reached. We'll go over to Grand Bassa County and take Musa Elizana Musa to tell us what's happening there in Grand Bassa County. And as soon as we receive him, we will also bring him over to you. Oh my God. What's going on? Let's take a little break and put ourselves together. We will be right back on this platform.
Not for good alone. Even we can eat it. Other creatures can eat it too. I want to pray for long hair. She can pray for 2 months. But as long as she's living, her hair will grow in a salon.
And a bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I don't get money. The women will roll. I'm a brother, mama.
You take it from you today, I will take it from you tomorrow, sister. You take it from there today, I will take it from you tomorrow, brother. Oh, guess I believe, guess I believe, oh, guess I believe. Now for good and
Guess I believe. No, I'm a brother, never want my way go. Sweet
You want me to a peka, Bola blow, Bola blow, sweet, sweet, kiss, I believe. Now for good alone, no fire, no fire, no come to pattern you. No fire, no fire, no come to pattern you. No fire, no fire, no come to pattern you. No, look out, look at me, bear, look out. No, look out, look at me, bear, look out. I'm a brother when my work at mama. I want to go. No, my brother, lawyer. I'm a brother, my got to oh, mama. Oh, my. Sweet, 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 sweet. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's now go over to see what we have here tonight. We will join Kula Fofana on the press for a press briefing on the issue about the Kinjor protests earlier on yesterday. So let's now go.
So in a special way, welcome all of you to this very special edition of the press briefing. And today we will be addressing a singular subject that has to do with Great Cape Mount County and the emerging situation. But before I go into detail, I'd like to introduce to you our team. You see here is a joint effort between the Executive Mansion, the Liberian National Police, and the Ministry of Information. On my far left is the representative, particularly the IG, Inspector General Gregory Coleman of the Liberian National Police. On my immediate left is the Minister of Information, Minister Jeremy Pia. And on my immediate right, you have the Deputy Minister of Public Affairs for the Ministry of State for Presidential Studies, and our own brother Daniel Sano of the Ministry of Information. Apologies if I missed the names and all of that. But this press briefing, as I said, is on a singular subject of the situation happening in Kinjor. The Executive Mansion is concerned about the current violent situation taking place at the Beer Mountain Mining Company and the citizens of that part of the country. So today, following the cabinet meeting, there was also earlier on a special cabinet meeting held with cabinet members in His Excellency President Joseph Nima Boakai. At the conclusion of that meeting, due to the emerging information that His Excellency received, the Excellency set up a committee of sector ministers to immediately, along with the Liberian National Police, to follow up on the current situation as it emerged. And the sector ministers that were designated to be able to go to Kinjor and follow up with the current protest action taking place in that part of the country. The ministers' names were the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Mines and Energy, the Minister of Labor, and the head of the National Bureau of Concession, along and in close collaboration with the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police. So His Excellency is very concerned, and he's hoping at the end of the investigation, the team that was dispatched will be able to provide full information as to the details. With the details of, or in terms of casualties and any other detail relating to the situation in Kinjor, the protest action, we will turn to the team, the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, particularly Minister who was recently confirmed, Jeremy Matthew Pia. Welcome, Minister.
Good evening. Recently, when we appeared for our confirmation hearing, we assured the Liberian Senate that one of the things we will do is to give information to the public in a timely manner. We also promised that we'll be very truthful in our interaction with the public so as to have the kind of integrity we should have as a government. If you have a government that is not trusted by the people, you have a problem. So it is our job to ensure that the people trust their government, and the way to do that is to be very honest and transparent in all that we do. All of you have been following the situation unfolding in King George, Grand Cape County. And let me start by saying the situation there did not start with the current administration. There has been issues in King George, but of recent, issues escalated. And as you may have been following on social media, there's been problem. Everyone got their own interpretation, but we chose to not give you the government side of the story. There have been protests in King George. Of course, the government has security forces deployed there. The individuals who were protesting were also armed. As a result of that, whatever was happening there escalated beyond control. In the event, one citizen was killed. The exact situation concerning how that citizen got killed is still being investigated. Also, 9 officers of the Liberian National Police were injured. One of the officers, who was an ERU personnel, was injured in the head. Another officer received his injury on the leg. About 18 persons, or protesters, if you may, were arrested. They were interested to also know that the police station, the police barrack, and a gym that is attached to the facility were all destroyed by the protesters. The technical and vocational school in the area was also completely vandalized by the protesters. As we speak currently, the situation is somehow calm, but very fluid. The Inspector General of Police is here. He could add other information he has, but we want to assure you that the government is fully involved with what is taking place there. As the press secretary said, the president dispatched a team. You'll be wondering why those individuals, the labor ministry is associated with workforce. The Bureau of Concession, that's a concession area. So all the individuals that were named the Minister of Lands and Mines, they are people whose job, is exactly associated with what is taking place there. Our country is evolving. People complain that there's no job. I said at the confirmation hearing, when we're talking all the big talk about tourism, I did say that tourists will not come here when they think they hear bad news. When concession areas are being attacked. And one of the things we're very concerned about is the fact that we were told that one of the individuals leading protesters against security forces is a lawmaker. We cannot run our country that way. The government would like to express regret for the death of the citizen who died. But at the same time, we must understand that all these security officers are people who also got life. They leave their wives, their children, and their family members who want to serve the state. In the event where in the discharge of their duties, they themselves are under threat, they will have to act consistent with their own regulations. But the fact that there is a death of a citizen is something that the government regrets. We also sympathize with those officers. 9 officers who are wounded. The one that is wounded in the head, no one can say how it will end. So we have to keep our country in a way that shows to the rest of the world that we are ready for business. We cannot afford to make our country a lawless place. There are problems all over the place, different concession areas. Problems not created by this government. This government has been in power barely a month and is committed to solving some of those problems. But should we use violence as a means of solving problems that we have? We don't think so. So we wanted to make sure that away from all the different speculations on social media, we wanted you to have formal information from the government, and that's what we've done. We'd like to pause here so that you can ask questions once you have. And at that point, the Inspector General of Police, who are we allowed to say something if he has, before we take your question, we assist in answering those questions, especially those that may be security related.
I believe we've captured most of the points, so I won't go into the details as the situation is still emerging. But one thing we can assure the country, the entire nation, that calm and a semblance of order has been restored to the areas that we're speaking about. We have a team of officials of government from the legislature and from the executive as well that are intervening at different levels. We've moved sufficient police officers to provide the needed support and to maintain the level of calm and order that has been established there. The situation today is one that we are grieved of in so many regards, because when the actions that are meant to protect lives and property leads to the loss of one of those that are intended to be protected, regardless of whatever the situation, it's always a sad moment. And our condolences go out to the family, and we're asking the general public, especially those in that area, to cooperate with the police and assist us in these times to be able to maintain the peace while the investigation goes on to get to the root cause and the officer involved shooting as well. The team has been dispatched to ensure that the procedures were followed, to investigate the use of force continuum, and to be able to come up with accurate information for the general public and to the family as well. This administration at the National Police, we will be accountable. We will be fair in our investigations. So we owe it to the general public to report truthfully. So as soon as the investigation, as per the officer involved shooting, is concluded, will be released to the general public. However, we regret the loss of life. We sympathize with the officers who are wounded and in the hospital as well, and the other citizen as well who has a bullet wound as well in the hospital. Today, the officers exhibited maximum restraint. They utilized every last community policing technique available to them. They went into using the non-lethal weaponry until it was completely exhausted. They made frantic efforts to call on lawmakers, to call on community leaders, to ask the protesters to back up, and the situation went to where it ended as to where we are today. So the investigation is ongoing, and I would like to start here and take questions from the press.
So thank you all very much. We will take a few questions. You will call your name, your institution, and then you ask your question. Yes.
Good evening, IG Sui on the platform.
IG Coleman.
Sorry, my apologies.
IGB Gregory.
Sorry. Well, my name is Kelvin Gurney of Private Friends. I listened to the statement issued. I'm concerned about the impact of the injury caused for the soldiers? Is it as a result of what? Because I was hearing that the protesters carried within a single barrel.
Well, amongst the protesters were a couple of them who were armed with artisanal weapons, with the single barrel pistol, and two of the 9 officers wounded received bullets from those weapons.
Yes.
Thank you,
Timothy first, and then.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Sylvester Chukle, and I work for the Spoon Network. Honorable Minister, in your speech, you mentioned that an individual who is also a lawmaker led the protesters. Would you mind naming that individual? And for the situation in Grenchem County, how long will it take you to totally calm down the situation?
Come again, the last part? How long will it take to do what?
To calm down the situation.
All right. So, if we had all the facts about the name of who that lawmaker was, we would have said it. But it's still being investigated, and we want to leave it at that until the investigation is concluded. The IG did say that some level of calm has been restored to the area, but I said the place is still fluid and tense. And as long as the situation remains that way, the security forces will remain engaged. But from time to time, we endeavor to update you until total calm is restored and we are convinced that the situation there has been resolved.
Okay, Mr. Pierre, my name is Theo Williams, and I report for Focus on Liberia Online Television. You indicated that some of the protesters were in armed. I'd like to know, how did they get the arm?
How would I know? What I would say to you is that, and which was confirmed by the IG, is that they were armed. How they got it? All of that is being investigated. There is an ongoing, very active ongoing investigation.
Okay.
And the lot that are not known now will be subsequently known. Julius.
So I have 3 concerns. One, our reporter in the county told us that a hospital had confirmed 3 persons dead. So at what time are you reporting on 1 person being dead? That's one. 2, you mentioned about the issues being a spillover from previous administration. One could also say lots of these concessions were broken when your party was in power. For your first 2 terms, and these issues were always existing. Are you trying to find excuses or what?
No, we're not finding excuses. The point we're making is that this government has been in power for 1 month. And by the way, the period you referenced, that the concession years were brought during that time, did you see what's going on now, going on there? Did you?
Some happened in Nimba County. I'm one of the media people who covered when there were protests in Nimba County on the other.
So,
Violence.
listen to me. We're currently talking about what is happening in Kingdom. And that's the point I make. If we came to discuss problem all over the country, that's a different thing. Probably I will invite you to the Ministry of Information on Monday. I have my very first press conference. But for now, discussing King George, my point is the issues for which the agitations are taking place were met on both. Government is continuing. That's why we're taking responsibility. And all I'm saying to you is that the government is committed to resolving those problems. And we think our citizens should be a little bit patient, Julius, when they have these issues, because it doesn't help you, it doesn't help me when all the people here out there is about violence, who brings money here to do business here. What kind of investor would want to come in a country where people just wake up and agitate for everything, including violence that will wound police officers? By the way, I didn't say this. 2 private citizens also had their homes burned down to ashes. Should we live like that? There are ordinary people like you, civilians. Why burn your homes? Why burn your own vocational, level oil and loot your own vocational institute meant to train people? You need police and security forces there. Why destroy your police barracks? The country is wanting in everything. And for every time we have issue, we should carry on those levels of
rejecting the nomination. As you know, this is the political ground of the Republic of Liberia. Wherever you don't feel comfortable with any decision that is made, this is where that decision can be deliberated.
Okay.
So we are working on this whole issue of nomination.
Okay.
We want it to be amicable, being in a loop on the negative side for the past 18 years. Every time we drop somewhere, we don't benefit. We come back, we drop to the other place, we don't benefit.
Sure.
So we are asking this government, this time, let's work together.
Fine.
That's what we are asking the government.
Okay.
So we are not enemies. Behind me is the Honorable Man Ellis Grant.
Sayo, the man brought to go to Cafe or Sayo.
Sayo, we don't want to see.
If you want to with another man, go and Sayo.
Sayo,
Sayo.
we don't want to see Sayo. Sayo, we don't want to see Sayo. Sayo, we don't let you know. Sayo, like our leader respect Sayo.
So, folks, this is the conversation with the Senator of Grand Judah County, Honorable Thomas Yaya Nimne, and the Honorable Eliezer Grant in question.
And that the man, the pa, and the sister, and the brother, when you're eating the same bed the next day, you better get you pregnant one day. Then later on, they say, oh, that your brother you ate yesterday, he questioned you, and the brother said, that mean. Standing with me does not mean I'm going to make him superintendent tomorrow.
Amanda.
We have to sit down as relatives and as citizens of the county to discuss the issues. Now electing somebody today does not mean that he's going to go to hell tomorrow. You have to sit down and discuss the issue. Why you're not going to support him? And why he think I should support him. That is a debate. He's a former honorable representative that spent 12 years in government. I'm just coming, I've been here 2 months.
Yeah.
So he got more experience than me. But my focus is the people's focus. The people say no. Convince me that I should carry you. That's the discussion we are having.
Okay.
So this is not an aggression. Because at the end of the day, even if the government go ahead and veto it, by the end of the day, maybe we'll work together. You understand that? But I believe that the government will not veto it. Because when you veto it, you're going to send him alone. He's going to go alone to the country. Even if he carry the whole army with him, the army will not carry the whole army. So we need to sit down, solve this matter, let understand one another, and disagree and agree. So then before that, so as you are exercising your right, don't be aggressive. Never. Don't be aggressive. Never. And I heard you say he sent people to fight you. We're going to talk with them to make sure that when their people come, they should also do the same by demonstrating, but there should be no exchange of faith. Are you sure? What did you do? I understood the last time his group came here and you all showed me wounds where they fought you and they damaged your phones. But we want to make sure that it does not happen. At the end of the day, we all going to Grand Judah. So, thank you. Keep it peaceful. I can't say go home, but because you're right. This is the ground that exists for that. But keep it peaceful. Keep it peaceful. We are discussing. We're going to get back to you.
Also, another way, before we take a leave, you also want to find out as to whether there will be a confirmation hearing today for our superintendent.
There's no confirmation hearing today.
No, but almost Senator, Grant will never tell you that. Today is.
But no, I know. He doesn't know.
Okay.
He doesn't know.
Okay, well, you be
around Senator Grant. It's something.
No confirmation.
Grand Judah right now is not settled. And if this, the former lawmaker, believe in professionalism and he want to save peace in Grand Judah, then he peacefully or kindly write the president
to withdraw.
Exactly.
Because the people you're going to represent in Grand Julia, the people say they don't want you.
They don't want you.
Don't force it.
Or else Grand Julia wants to
This is not a
be stable.
So to maintain peace in Grand Julia, right there, executive master, tell the president thank you for the nominees, but you can't take the job because the people you're going to represent, the people say they don't need you. If you do that, then he will save his face.
Exactly.
Other than that one, he forced himself on the people.
Hey, he's got it.
See what you say.
You're not talking in conversation with Honorable Elliot Chelsea Grant himself and that of our Honorable Thomas Yaya Nime, Senator of the county. So these are guys from Grand Julia County who are here on the grounds of the Capitol building protesting against the president nomination of Honorable Elliot C. Grant as superintendent designate of the county. So folks, this is where we are. This is for the Labrador Television. So folks, these are Grandjulians against the president's nomination of Honorable Elliot Chelsea Grant as superintendent of Grand Julia County. Earlier on, you witnessed a loud conversation with the Honorable Senator of Grand Julia County, Honorable Thomas Yaya Nimlen, newly elected Senator of Grand Julia County, wherein you witnessed the president of Honorable Elliot Chelsea Grant himself. And this conversation was intended to plead to the protesters to remain peaceful in their protestation. And folks, this is where we are. My name is Archie Bourne, and this is Today Labrador Television.
Okay, all right. So, Grandjulians, some of them are complaining that they don't want Honorable Elliot Chelsea Grant. Anointed, thank you so much for following. Arthur Solo say good evening, Sheku. And Ophelia Dennis say, bravo, guys. We appreciate you so much tonight. Seems that our correspondents were so busy tonight, and we tried getting to almost all of them. Only Mohammed Sharif was able to report tonight on this program. What's going on? We need to know that exactly. But let's take a break quickly, and we will be right back.
Shadow on the beat. Not for good alone. People be can eat her. Other creatures can eat her too. I want to pray for long hair. She can pray for 2 months, but as long as she's living, her hair will grow in a salon.
And her bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I know you get money. The women will roll. I'm a brother, mama. Sweet is our live. No
You take it from you today, I will take it from you tomorrow, sister. You take it from there today, I will take it from you tomorrow, brother. Oh, guess I believe, guess I believe, oh, guess I believe. I forgot the news.
Sweet is our live. No I'm a brother way. Never go my way out. Sweet is our live. No
All right, Ato Solo, I just sent you the link. The link I just shared in the comment section, so you can easily try to get the link from there tonight. So we will visit the various newspaper outlet right now. Let's see what we can bring you some information as well with Gibson Jeru to be here tonight. Yeah. As we are with Gibson Jeru to be here tonight, what do we have on the national scene? I see the photograph of, I'm going to share this one very quickly with you so that we all can read it together as we are with our guys to also be here tonight, our panelists. So you see this photograph of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker, J. Fonati Kofa, and also Fala. Thomas Fala, you've seen them. So we want to go for the story to know what's going on. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, J. Fonati Kofa, and his Deputy Thomas P. Fala. So what are they doing here? The caption says, House concerned about delay in submission of 2024 budget. Now the House of Representatives has instructed its chief clerk to write to the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Boima Kamara, to inquire about the extreme delay in the submission of the 2024 national budget. Yesterday, CDC was delaying with the national budget submission. Today, Boima Kamara is also delaying with the national budget submission. The House from whence all bills for raising revenue shall originate voted unanimously on Thursday, February 29, to ensure that the finance minister is engaged so that the lawmakers can be informed whether there is any hurdle that is impeding process or progress on the submission of the national budget. About 34 days ago, on Thursday, January 25th, the House of Representatives unanimously voted to return the 2024 national draft budget submitted by former President George Weah to the newly inducted President, Joseph Numa Boakai, for realignment with the new government development agenda. In the spirit of collaboration, the House decision made to allow President Boakai to tailor the budget to his arrest agenda, which involves incentive for agriculture and access the appropriate technology for farmers, as well as improved markets and trade, food shortage and food storage, and processing, among others. Now, the arrest, agriculture, rules of law, education, sanitation, and tourism, the development trajectory President Boakai has set for his administration. The return budget was 782.9 million, though it was later recast to 759.4 million. The delay of the 2024 budget since its return in causing members of the House of Representatives to voice their concern, especially with 14 days to the first constituency break, which is expected to begin on the 3rd Friday in March up to the 15th instead. The lawmaker concerns were stated in a communication to President Boakai, reminding him about the delay in the submission of the 2024 national budget. The House decision was prompted by a communication from Bond County District Number 6 Representative Moiman Breeze Mensah. This is what she said. I crave the indulgence of the Honorable House of Representatives to invite before this August body the Minister of Finance and Development Planning to explain the reason for the delay in the submission of the 2024 national fiscal budget. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, resulting out of the communications from the co-chair on Ways, Means and Finance Committee, Ellen Todd, read, in the spirit of coordination, the House of Representatives unanimously voted to send back the 2024 national fiscal budget to the executive for proper adjustment and realignment to suit the President's 100-day deliverable and arrest platform for the collective achievement of our nation. But unfortunately, the minister has ignored the Thursday, February 15, 2024 mandatory date associated with the submission of the budget as communicated to the Minister of Finance and Development Planning by the House of Representatives. The chairman of the House Ways, Means and Finance Committee, Dixon Sieber, said, it seems that we may be facing a crisis soon, as my interpretation of the law regarding the usage of 112 tells us that we cannot continue to use that. The real issues with this is that we have already exhausted an allowance of 41.3 million, which is 212. And if we are unable to give the government any more money, the public may begin to think that the legislature wants the government to shut down. That's what the representative said. That's what the representative have put. So we're going to look at this carefully. Arthur is here. Arthur, good evening. How are you, my brother? Arthur, unmute yourself, please.
Good evening, brother. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm very, very much okay. How's everything?
Yeah, we thank God for life, brother.
Okay. Where are we? What you got on the plate today?
Yeah, they might be running late today. You told me not to be late yesterday, so I'm trying to be on time. If I get reminded.
At least 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have on the agenda today?
Well, I looked at the protests that were going on, and Mr. Honorable Yahya Nimlin was instrumental to intervene, and I mean, it's the right step, the first step in the right direction, I can say, because as a senator, you have a huge responsibility to your constituents, because that's what carry weight. It's not about your friends in the house that you mingle with, but the people that you're representing. If they are happy with you, you can stay in power as long as you want to stay, because they know that you will do the right thing and you continue to do the right thing. Honorable Grant, on the other side, I mean, it's somewhat embarrassing because your own people will talk to you like that in the public domain because you overlook a lot of things. And in my own...
The thing is, advisor, the same way some people say they don't want Honorable Grant, the same way they got the other people on the other side jubilating for the appointment of Honorable Grant.
Of course.
So the whole thing is just being political.
Well, but I'm from Grand Jude. The reason why the people stood up against Grant is their reasons are valid. Because even I myself have a problem with Grant and Boley.
Perception. That's what you think. But there are other people who want him, and they also got a reason that's valid why they want him.
No, I don't disagree with that. As well, they have the same right that afforded the other group. They both can protest, for what is good for the country. But this is what we call democracy. We can agree to disagree, or we can disagree to agree. So we actually in the right spot. And for me, I want to thank the honorable man the way he intervened to see that, oh, hey, people, let's keep a level head. Let's sit down. Let me sit down and talk with this guy and see how best we can handle this. And that's it. That's the thing. He can sit down and say, my brother, what's going on? What should we do? you look at your own people. The people say stay, the other people say go. So what we're doing? So they will have a compromise, talk, and come up with a final decision to come out. Bear in mind, he's not required to withdraw. It's just the grievance of the people. He can sit on and say, hey, I had the backing of the president, and you know what? Heck with it. I'll be the superintendent. There's nothing no people can do. Even if you continue the protest will fall out of boundaries of the Constitution. Now you are harassing him because you make your grievance already, and it's noted by the representative of the government, which is your senator, and they noted your agreement, your grievances. So if you're going back and forth, then that considered harassment. That will trigger another person to take action. But being a decent man, he can easily say, hey, you know what? I'll do what? Or Prince Johnson, the second day that I was step.
You all right.
You know?
You all right. Good. You all right, Arthur. That's your business. Okay. So, Arthur, let's look at this quickly tonight. If you look at this caption, I'm waiting for Gibson also to be here. We got a very important issue tonight. They say what Uncle Sam has said so far regarding Liberia's war crimes putsch. And you know who is Uncle Sam?
Yeah, no, I know. When you say Uncle Sam, definitely I know.
And we see the photograph of children here with AK-47 in their hands. Some of them have 2 magazines folded to it, 1 magazine, and you can see the photograph. The photograph tells you all. But then let's know exactly what Uncle Sam is saying, the American government. Establishing a war and economic crimes code for Liberia has always been the matters of political will for the Liberian government. The country's biggest ally, the United States of America, has on many occasions pledged its commitment to providing the finance and technical support for the establishment of the tribunal in order to serve justice to victims of the 14-year civil war. Now, in 2022, Beth Van Schaak, the U.S. ambassador at large for global criminal justice, echoed the United States government willingness to provide Liberia with all the needed support when he said the Liberian government has to be accountable to 8 people. The U.S. government is willing to support through technical and financial means to establish a tribunal. She made a statement while visiting Liberia in October that year. Now, Schaak would advise the U.S. Secretary of State and other senior officials on issues relating to war crimes, crime against humanity, and genocide said it was time for the government of Liberia to be accountable to 8 people. The TRC report has some useful recommendations to address war crimes and atrocity. We encourage those in position of power to look very carefully at those recommendations. It is never late to dispense justice. The individual who suffer the crimes are still calling for justice, and those who represent them should look into those calls. That's what she said. Let's go for unquoting her now. Now, Schaak noted that the U.S. government has played a pivotal role in fostering accountability in West Africa, including in the landmass trials of former Liberian President Charles Gange Taylor by the Sierra Leone Special Court. The Lutri massacre was not done by rebel forces, but government forces. Schaak noted, this is why it does not matter who is in charge as leader. It is the government case. I don't think it's about creating a big court. It won't be like the tribunal in The Hague. Now, creating a harbor court to address cases close to the people is now the move there. No one is taken from the country to another country to try out for a sentence. Schaak re-emphasized as government stance in an open letter to Liberians she published 2 months after her visit to Liberia. She said, Liberia faces many challenges when it comes to the justice and accountability, not only for the terrible war crimes committed during 2 consecutive civil wars, but also for subsequent crimes and corruption. Impunity is coercive. When it is allowed to flourish in one sector, it will undermine the foundation of peace and the rule of law across an entire society. Now, the overlying message we held on our visit
was a call for those with the proper to implement the important recommendations of the 2009 Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Liberia, the TRC. These recommendations reflect the wisdoms of Liberians, leaders, and experts in law, human rights, and theology, journalism. The TRC commissioners were tasked with the awesome responsibility for generating a framework to prevent a return to mass violence in Liberia, answering the questions of victims and survivors for justice, and hold accountable those most responsible for war crimes and other atrocities. Let's look at Boakai commitment. Now, with President Joseph Numa Boakai showing commitment to the establishment of the court as declared in his inaugural speech, the establishment of the tribunal seems to be gaining more and some steam. In his inaugural address in January, President Boakai addressed the issue. We have decided to set up an office to explore the feasibility for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court to provide an opportunity for those bearing the greatest responsibility for war crimes and crimes against humanity to account for their actions in court. What happened to Winneba? I thought this was a joke. Ghana reportedly chosen. Now, despite SHAC's 2022 statements with the new model, no one is taking for his or country for trial or sentencing. Information gathered by Front Page Africa indicate that Ghana is likely to be the venue for the hosting of Liberia long-awaited War and Economic Crimes Court. Perpetrators from countries 14 years brutal conflict will be tried, and if convicted, serve their sentences in Ghana seaport towns of Winneba, Front Page Africa gathered. Now, Front Page Africa has also learned that negotiations are set to be concluded over the venue as the administration of Joseph Numa Boakai finalizes plan with the international stakeholder pressing for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court of Liberia. The UN embassy has made it clear to the Liberian officials that it considered the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court pivotal to ending the impunity and putting Liberia on the path of national reconciliation and economic development. Accordingly, some 200 million has been set aside to finance the court operation. Councillor Jerome Vardy, chairman of the defunct TRC and now the War Crime Court's advocate, based in the United States, believe that establishing the court outside Liberia could deprive Liberians the social and economic benefit of the court. He also said it would deprive Liberians of witnessing justice being served for their own soil. We all know what happened between 1989 to 2003 when the Liberian Civil War resulted in the estimated death of 150,000 to 250,000 men, women, and children, displacement of over half the country population, and all parties to the conflict were responsible for grave crimes and human rights atrocities, including torture, rape, sexual slavery, summary execution, and forced conscriptions of child soldiers. Now, this is what the U.S. government stand is. What do you think?
Oh my goodness! You know, I've this ambassador. When she was in Liberia, I don't know, lying her face on ERBC, I call. You know, Sekou, I have a question for you. Are you hearing me, Sekou? Okay, maybe you're not hearing me, but
go ahead. I was responding to something. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My question is: do you eat black snake?
Do you what?
You, Sekou, do you eat black snake?
Black snake for what?
No, for breakfast, for dinner, or something. You know.
I can eat black.
Thank you. Snake. But then you want Actor Solo to eat the black snake, it will be good for him. Now, what the U.S. doing? The U.S. shouldn't be talking about even war and economic crime court. They don't subscribe to it. They don't subscribe to it. Their citizens cannot be even investigated or even questioned by it because they found the court to be a incompetent kangaroo court, according to the Secretary of State. the former. So you see what the U.S. government is doing. That's what we're saying. This is the international bullying that go on. New administration coming in, they finding a way to constrain you in a corner. Now you're talking about the venue will be in Ghana. What wrong with the whole saga? The US saying they're giving, and the international partner they're giving $200 million. Seku, the US government have all sort of law enforcement agency. That $200 million they can invest it in a Liberian justice system, empower the Supreme Court to say, look, issue warrant, bring the people here to book, and you have our backing through the president. What message it show? It show that they are fixing Liberian judiciary system. But if you say, oh yeah, we're breaking war and economic crime code, you just there to scare Prince Johnson or the other people. These are the people you're trying to put fear in so that they can stand in line and salute you. That's what you're doing. It has no merit.
Is it something for you against?
For me, I against the way it's being proposed.
But not today, I thought the thing has been proposed. It's been proposed long since.
Yeah, but guess who proposing it? This is the reason why I ask you that question if you can eat black snake. You know,
the Liberian people have been proposing this war and economic crime.
I understand that. Even under new President Weah, when they asked for war cracker, what he did, he sent a communication to the House, right? Right. The reason why we're saying that it shouldn't be Shark or Ellen White or other people. Ellen White is not a lawyer. He's a security expert on retrieve, which means if a dangerous area, it can be in Cambodia, it can be whatsoever. He had a security firm they call it Double Door in America. They extract diamond from Somalia. That's their expertise. They are a very dangerous group, you know. So these are the people that are behind, and what he did in Sierra Leone, that's why Sierra Leone banned him out of there. The same agreement right now, they're preferring. That why they prefer that they will not make any arrest until the Sierra Leone government themselves do it before they bring the person in for prosecution. But the moment the Sierra Leone people say, okay, Ellen White and his Double Door were in the people district in that village, they are flying people out of there to the Hague without the Sierra Leone government permission. Because they have the double dogs, the people packed their M16 on their chest, you can't talk. They overpower the Sierra Leone army. That's not helping the Sierra Leone people. At the end, Sierra Leone people, wait a minute, we were supposed to do the one with you. We the one that was supposed to be in charge. They laughed. In charge. Where were you? Huh? We don't have to come in your own house and clean on your own house. We're doing it our way. That's good. And Ellen Whitehead is a retreat expert for security reasons. That's why he invests in. If you see somebody in embassy in Libya being attacked, and they say, oh, they're not sending U.S. Army, that a group they send. These are the dangerous people that pushing war, the economic crime code. What thing Ellen White can do for Liberia? So even the shark men are doing it. You took money from Ellen White. Ellen White is a lobbyist, everybody know. So you need somebody in State Department that will push your agenda. That's what he's doing. So you tag somebody that you know that, oh yeah, you can control within the State Department. Ellen White been in the State Department for a long time, over 3, 4, 5, or 6 administration. So these are the people that are behind it. And we talk, even here in my organization, the Concerned Liberian Network, we published a document that was signed behind doors by Ellen White, just to go in Liberia and start with. Why you cry more than the bereaved? Huh?
Oh, no. Don't say the men cry more than the bereaved.
So
don't say the men cry more than the bereaved.
Yeah, he is.
The Liberian people need. Go ahead.
Justice. You know what they did with the Human Rights, the Lento Committee? They say Ellen White men, people that even have family members die, that they can prove it. They have video for it. They block them from going to the committee in Washington. Everybody called to put that story in, but the Yasidik Bay, they who walk from Cinco at war. They don't know how many miles they walk. They don't know how many days they walk from Cinco. Then Christmas, look at your note. You will know how long you walk. It was embarrassment, but they're doing selectively to people that they know that have no merit in it. the people that need justice in Liberia, but not the way that they want it. Sekou, don't let them fool you. Not the way they want it. We see what the people are capable of. Justice right now, if you say yes, Liberian people, when the TRC, what they did, they chose the Palava Hut. They said, let's do the Palava Hut, let the people go talk.
You sure that the Palava Hut, the people choose? You sure that Palava Hut,
according to the TRC.
And not Palava Hut, the people choose.
What? Okay,
I will say you the whole TRC report.
I have a Jeru for I'm the same person.
The Palava Hall was just one aspect of the reconciliation. And the truth is, though, let me say something, right? The truth is you cannot reconcile or bring peace among people if you do not know the root cause of that conflict.
What do you mean?
You understand that?
War.
The root cause is war. Now, it's not possible for you to kill my mother, to kill my father, and you become a leader for me, and I'm serving you and respecting you every day, and at the same time, you're suppressing me. After so long, the people who carry on the acts in our country, who are in leadership today, including the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, let them be brought to the public, let them be prosecuted, and let them pay for their crimes. Whether it will take 100 years, there are people who are still grieving and going through these things. And you have these very people who are leaders today in society.
Sekou, I don't disagree with you. The same people.
Yeah, so if the Allen White, if even you find a monkey to come and say, we will push so that these things can happen, let's push so that these things can happen. Let them take the responsibility to push. So whether the Allen White is a guerrilla fighter, whether the Allen White and other people made this war crimes code to be very prominent today in Sierra Leone. And as we speak today in that particular country, whether they were driven from there is no war law in power in that country. But today you have almost warlords who killed in this country. They are in power and enjoying the immunity of the Liberian people. The very people they killed yesterday, they are in the position enjoying their wealth.
Okay.
And we are saying yes sir to them.
Sekou.
So if Liberian people will not fight this whole goddamn Cold War to bring them to justice, then the people who can bring them to justice for the Liberian people, let them bring them to justice for the Liberian people.
Then you miss the whole point, Sekou.
Why?
The same people you're talking about. I'm not trying. Look, all our lost family members.
People let too much God business. Small thing will leave it with God. We leave it with God. We leave it with God.
That's not
what leading us to.
I'm not leaving it with God. This is what I want to say. I understand what you're saying, but if you go that way, you're wrong. Because the same people you are referring to that even kill our parents and sisters, rape, they are duly elected by the people. They were not appointed. So yeah,
they use violence. Some of them use violence. Some of them use intimidation. What do you call it? How do I call it? Tactics. They use violence.
So do Hitler. So
some of them.
Caesar. So do even the United States, Joe Biden, that today, they all were kneeling down to BLM, but when they get in power, they strap M16 pointing to the BLM. And they don't exist. The high politics and bureaucrat work. So the idea politician can lie. They should have thought about it and say, oh, the man that killed a weapon, somebody knew him. But
what you would do?
Yeah,
what you would do?
Your vote.
If Ellen Johnson Sirleaf would say level the mansion in 3 days, we'll build it.
Yeah, and then
it will be $10,000 United States dollars to the NPFL.
I'm
and later on, the Liberian people sang the song. You came my ma, you came my pa, but we vote for you. We Charles Taylor. Who you think they can vote for? There is a difference between being educated and being ignorant to things, and you feel you can just go for it. After you over there, people will not do these things to you, and you come back to say you will be my leader. What are you looking for?
No, but you see,
because you are educated to that point. You've traveled, you got some level of experiences.
The reason why I'm saying this, even if Ellen White or whoever that in a backseat want to do it, it had to be the Liberian themselves that stand in the front. You cannot.
Brother, when they were carrying Charles up from their country, Liberian, I agree.
Yeah, but
Liberian alone, they would never agree to that.
All of us, even the Liberian that don't agree, all of us that here, we subscribe to the international laws.
Okay, fine. So if the international law says
that you can get these people all easily and carry them. Let them be arrested and be taken to what?
Well, no, that's not what the international law is saying. Even the criminal code you're talking about, it had to be approved by the House.
We were approving.
You know, so
the House will approve it.
Yeah, well, that's what we want.
If the House will not approve it, we use executive order.
Executive order will not work because executive order do not establish anything. You know, executive order cannot establish a foreign court in the country. It's a breach of the Constitution.
I will be introducing a guy tonight. He's Benjamin Brooks. He's the station manager for Shakta FM.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to sit in this very chair with us tonight as we continue the discussion. This is his very first time appearing on this show. And I will also be in the background a little bit.
Okay.
And you will be seeing him tonight on this platform. So let me take a break. The moment we come back, the face we'll be seeing tonight is Benjamin Brooks.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Shadow on the beat. Sweet, sweet, kiss, I believe. Now for God alone. I said, sweet, sweet, kiss, I believe. Now for God alone. He won't be the eater. Other creatures can eat it too. I want to pray for long hair. She can pray for 2 months. But how long is she living? Her hair will gray in a salon.
And a bread will be handsome. You can pray for money. I know you get money. The women will roll. I'm a brother, I'm doing well, mama. I'm a brother, I'm doing well, mama. Sweet, guess I will leave. No, but go along. I'm a brother, never go my way go.
You take it from you today, I will take it from you tomorrow, sister. You take it from there today, and I will take it from you tomorrow, brother. Oh.
Good evening, Ben. How you doing?
Well, good evening. I'm okay. How are you too, Arthur?
I'm doing very well, brother. And thank you for the hard work you're doing for the network. You know, the young people now, it's our time to do what we're supposed to do in our private sector to promote our own well-being. So I thank you for the hard work, brother.
Let me also say thank you there. I mean, you guys are extremely doing well to keep the ball rolling, especially disseminating the necessary information to our people across the globe so that we all get a sense of reality about our country and what is unfolding on a daily basis. Thank you so much as well.
Thank you, bro. You said we were leaving. He left something on the table about the International Criminal Court. You know, I understand the zeal behind it. He wants it. So do we all. We all want it. We all got affected by it. But you know, it will be good. We do it the right way. If we don't, it would mess up our judicial system that's already weak. And then now you have a major problem. You have Facebook, Go, Instagram, Twitter people. It will be very hard to manage if we don't do it right, because now you have a problem with the society because of things are gone the way it's not supposed to. Nobody in Liberia want to go back into the dark ages. People, Liberian people want justice, yeah, but not the way the ambassador and everyone are pushing for it. No, they are only pushing it for their own gain. If you're gonna do it, let the Liberian people themselves set it up. But they shouldn't lie to the Liberian people the way they did in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, the only success story in Sierra Leone, they take Charles Taylor and other group of people. Most of the people were not tried in Sierra Leone. You grab them in their villages and you fly them out of helicopter and they're in a different country. What about the agreement you have with the Sierra Leone government? The Sierra Leone government will sit down face to face with the people, so the victims, which are the citizens, will see what their new leaders are doing, but they blow it out of their hand because they didn't care. They only care about their retrieve fee that they will get when they deliver the person in Hague, the money they're going to get. And there are people that are getting millions of dollars. That's why I was telling the tricycle. If the U.S. government that is so powerful, the world superpower, if they want to straighten this thing, they can even forget about the International Criminal Code. They can empower the Supreme Court and create even a local court for it. In Liberia there, you have the FBI, you have the state police, you have the sheriff department in America here that can send their expert and it will be done in like a week. But this is not coming from the American people. It's coming from the greedy lobbyists that in Washington that are trying to tell leaders what to do in all over the world. That's them. We want justice, but we want it to be done on our own footing. So that I'll be able to ask my own brother to my man, why you do this to us? Then at least then I get some sort of closure from it. We are talking about economic crime. We say, oh, they put Taylor in jail. Taylor never got convicted for crime in Liberia. It's in the insurrection of Sierra Leone and Guinea, you know. So
yeah,
I just wanted to talking that Alan White got we that in America here, the organization that I'm part of, we've been fighting that Alan White got for a long time because if we left with him alone, trust me, it would have been double dogs group on the ground, and then that's it. Bleak, it go out. He don't care about anything, and then when this is why he doing with Bouaka. He and Bouaka then even when Bouaka was in opposition, they've been talking all their meeting they have. We have clip for it. We have document for it. The negotiation, even the Town Lantern committee they set up in Congress. You know, people that are actually affected, that have family members, that have video through the Associated Press that was reported on CNN. They block them because they don't want the truth. They don't want the truth.
But after on the ground here in Liberia, if you are to conduct a census call among the Liberian people, currently as we speak, with the issues of the War and Economic Crimes Code, the establishment of the code, you will 99% get the majority of the Liberian people calling for the establishment. Inasmuch, you considering that this thing is being highly pushed by other powerful people, probably quote unquote not the Liberian people, but on the ground itself, where the conflict took place, where the victims are, some of them probably still living, those who lost their family, their properties, not just private property, but the state properties as well. Take, for example, our power plant, the Mankofi power plant.
Yeah.
That place got destroyed due to the war. And who destroyed them? Our very selves, Liberians, who ignorantly took arms and did not know the importance and just went on fighting because they held guns. So if you had to come on the ground right now as we speak, Arthur, and you conduct a community meeting, town meeting, even house-to-house meeting, you squarely get to understand that the Liberian people are yearning for this code to be established. But they can't just do it because they got leaders ahead of them. And those leaders talking about the senators, the representatives, and these are the people that should be coming back at the level of the people to get them to understand what is good about this and what is not good about this if there is something that is not good about it. The representatives at the level of the district, the senators at the level of the county, sit with your people and get them to understand this thing is important. This is the reason. this thing is not important. This is the reason. And if we are to establish the court, how will it affect the country positively or not? So the people, you will hear the people across the country, war crimes court. We open one radio telephone show about war crimes court in Liberia, across the country, where we monitor on a daily basis. Bulk of the core are calling in favor of the establishment of the court.
Okay.
Because you get to know that there are leaders, some of them who they saw, who they knew, and they encounter at checkpoints, in buildings, in villages, in towns, at the heat of the war. They see them in leadership, expecting them to contribute immensely to transform this country when it comes to law and other things that will protect the people. But the very people are just enriching themselves as they take on the power to lead the people. And they saw the people fighting. They saw the people giving command to units, to forces, capturing towns and villages. And these are the people now they expect them, while they are in leadership position, to help to reduce the hardship in the country. But instead, these people are just being enriched by themselves, family and relatives of them. So definitely the majority, you'll see that, but let the court come. Let the court come. So for Allen White and other high court politicians and Joe Boakai, President Boakai, definitely one way or the other, Ellen Johnson regime, the court was expected, it did not happen. George Weah regime, the court was expected, it did not happen. So right now, they see President Boakai now as the option to establish a court.
Let me say something. You mentioned something interesting. You mentioned the Montgomery hydro. You said we destroyed it because we were
out of ignorance.
Yeah, okay. It's the same thing that we're gonna do right now. People that are calling on the radio that want war and economic crime code. This is why we that know what it say. When I say we, I mean you that know the detail in it, how to educate our people, how we go about it. It cannot be the guy who you want to prosecute that's sitting down enjoying his air conditioned car will come by and agree with you, say he can go to jail, also he can be publicly ridiculed. No. But you and I, the media people, will be the one that educate the people. I'm not disapproving of the justice part of it. But war and economic crime code is not the solution to it. We can create our own code. Right now, the house what the house is for. Both houses can create code so and so Z for economic thing, and it will be underneath the Liberian Constitution. It will be within a frame. Now, if you create a war crime code, it has to come from the houses for it to be legal in Liberia, because the Constitution said that the only higher court in the land is the Supreme Court. So when you bring a war crime code that have international law backing it, it supersedes the Liberian Supreme Court. You have to have a new law to amend that portion for it to happen. This is what we're saying. But if somebody want to use it as a tool, as a political tool to scare somebody away, that's fine, you can do it. But if you really want to do it, you will start talking to your lawmakers. If President Boakai had more senators, he had the majority in the House, of Senate, he can do that. That's the first step you will do before you start. Anyone can do all you want, but those houses do not agree. There's no executive order that will bring him. It will be the breach of international laws. Executive order cannot bring him to Liberia to establish a war and economic crime code. No. That's a lot of things that people don't know. So you see, even when it comes to President Weah, say he's smart. When they talk about it, he just send a communication, say, hey, both houses, they people want to do war crime, economic crime code. What you people say, you're make it happen.
On the other hand, you come to realize that the big guys, the ones in power, those that participated in the war, they got the authority, and they are squarely to be the one to be called upon for investigation. So how can they release this to themselves? It's like they'll be shooting themselves in their legs.
You see, Brooks, this is why. Okay, now you see what I'm saying? So even the people that are talking, they are the same people that duly elected this guy. They are not appointed. That's
exactly
the problem.
Exactly. If they were not to give them, if they were not to give them power,
and
but
they don't
elected
have
position,
one term, so they bet in that sense. They
exactly.
They long time, and they can't be removed because they been there for so long, and they are comfortable in there. So if you use the right word.
For example, Senator Prince Johnson.
Okay, Prince Johnson been there for how many years?
Okay, you know? And he's just one person doesn't like to listen to anyone talking about it.
Yeah, because for instance, without him, it can happen. That's why he knows. That's why he can bluff it, bring it, because he knows that the house will block it. You see, that's a corrupt part. We need to put young people in power. If you, Brooks, here, if that's your first time in the House of Representatives or Senator, you will not listen to your people. You will listen to your people.
Exactly.
You will listen to your people, because I would say, Bruce, my man, you and I were over there. They got beat us. How can you allow they got to go? You were there when they got killed. Joseph, brother. You will be convinced. You will say, you know what? Yeah, I can't go with the old papi there. But look at them in the house. You think that you will carry a bill that will say Prince Johnson will be arrested, or let's say, or what you need, Bole, or Kaya? No. That people will stand up for them. You create a war. You damaging the social fabric, because you bring in now. The only thing they had to do, they go bring the American to lie on me and do this going, because I doing this. That what Prince Johnson can do. Prince Johnson said what I can do for Nima County. That why they want stop. That why they want bring the stupid thing here. They say and then what you think Nima will do? Boom, they will stand up. But I can have a different in a regime. Now you have a rebel. You have an unstable group. What it will do for our economic movement in the country?
So you think there is a lesser evil or greater evil in establishing a code?
The code, the people that are pushing it, they are not the right people. I want it will be done. Let it be done by our original federal government. ECOWAS should be the one talking. Even if the U.S. going to do it, let us stay behind ECOWAS, high or say small, because U.S. do not subscribe to this nonsense. Their citizens can't be picked up by any of those courts or the proceeding. So if you can't eat blasting it, don't try to feed it. People say if it's good, you can do it for your people for Iraq and Afghanistan war, where you say what WMD, weapon of mass destruction, and you lie, you kill over millions of people. You know, so you're not in a position to be pushing it.
If we will have to disallow or not give chance to the international partner and wanting it from our very selves with our sub-region brothers like
you,
ECOWAS, if we must just think about them and proceed with it that way, you think Liberia with her own problem, economic problem, and other surrounding issues in establishing a code, like fundings and things, where do we get the money from as a country?
Brooks,
and these guys we have to be the same guys to pass in a bill to come up with an amount of budget to help to sponsor establishing a code.
Okay, Brooks, if I may ask,
you be ready or prepared for that?
Yeah, it can be done. If the U.S. right now they're spending $200 million, right? They are submarine $200 million. That $200 million, it shouldn't be you, the U.S. government, who does subscribe to the ICJ or being a referee. You never play football or soccer. You play football in America, you don't know how to kick. Then you don't want to get on the soccer field, you want to be the referee. How it works? Put that money behind ECOWAS. Say, ECOWAS, we want this to happen. Respect the original federal government are there. But right, if ECOWAS was uniquely capable, if the France and the West were not sabotaging ECOWAS, none of them should be negotiating, all the ECOWAS members should be underneath one chairman for foreign policy, one foreign minister underneath the ECOWAS. These are the guys that the West have to talk to. That when you go, you want to establish your business in Liberia or a mining company, you go talk to the ECOWAS chairman for foreign affairs. He will talk to the minister in Liberia, and they will say that this is how it's supposed to work. But they don't want that federal government to be unique, because if it's unique, it sabotage their way of life in the West. You claiming that you want to help. If you want to help, let the regional federal government do it. That's ECOMON were in Liberia. Who said ECOMON are the US? Huh?
That's another important point you scratching there.
No, that's
because
not the
at the
US.
heat of the war, it was our sub-region brothers that came. ECOMON.
You know,
and they felt the heat.
What Ellen White was doing? What was Ellen White? That time he was watching TV.
So there could equally be a major backing and major backbone for the establishment of the court with the international help and support.
Let me say, here's what I can do. The ECOWAS, the regional federal government, in collaboration with the Liberian government, because now ECOWAS have the backing of the international partners, can say, okay, in Liberia, we cannot supersede the Supreme Court by creating the International Criminal Court. Because if you need the International Criminal Court, that's what it is. Because then it have the international laws. But if you say this is the ECOWAS Economic and War Crime Code, it's the regional for those 13 members that remain. So now everybody that subscribe to that, subscribe to the regional federal government of that area. Look at SADC in the South African region, those people. When they're ready to build a railroad, their SADC come on with a grievance, with the agreement that they will have to build that railroad going from Kenya, Mombasa, all the places that connected them. But they did it in the unification area. It's not the British government that came to do it. No, it was the regional government that did it, and then all the people that is in the area benefited. But the U.S., when they come to attacking Niger, then they know ECOWAS. They say, we have source of support for the U.S. The France behind you. We have to start respecting ourselves, bros. If they make you the chairman for arresting people, you go to your own brother. They will not respect you because you broke. But let me bring Double Dog, the guy who been in Virginia on the base training there. One man, you arrest the whole time.
Exactly.
You know, that's not how it's supposed to be done. We Africans have to respect ourselves. We Liberians have to respect ourselves. And that's why anywhere we go in the world, they don't respect us. Look at China. Just 1990 China. China supersede any country because they mind their own business. They don't let anybody interfere. Today, China GDP beat most of the country, is number 3. But you know how China can fire? They fire as honored developing country. They never fire as a fully sustaining capital country. No, they still developing. This is why they can put China on the list for emission or the air pollution emission. China said, no, we're still developing. We need to build it. And so, no, we're not subscribing today. That's how you develop things. But the international people, you won't tell me France that been in power before even Liberia will know about Liberia, that France will roll or set down. No. Or the US that was riding car in 70s or something that didn't want to care about Liberia. These people do not care anything about Africa. They only care about regime change and control. That's it. So if Ellen White, Shaq, any of them want to do something better for the Liberian people, empower ECOWAS. The same way right now they're pushing ECOWAS to attack Niger. You know, empower ECOWAS, give the money to ECOWAS, make sure ECOWAS set it up, help them set up the court system, the law that will be there. You have the logistic, help them. That way, even when ECOWAS say, hey, you shut up, the person will shut up. Because they know what ECOWAS will do. ECOWAS have the arresting power. This is what in America here, the state have the power, but the federal government has the power too as well. You know, they work side by side. This is why you see every day the state will sue the administration, body administration, or whatever. They go to Supreme Court every day. Because somebody had to stand up and say something, but it cannot be the guy who can eat cassava snake, then he try to feed somebody that's in cassava snake. No. If you want to respect people, give it to ECOWAS. Back ECOWAS. Make ECOWAS arrest Yeke Koluba or arrest Prince Johnson. He will not move because we're right in Nigeria there. He can call a woman in Nima County and say, man, bring me that game back there. I need to eat stuff.
And that reminds me of even former President Charles Taylor, before he could have been taken away from here, before Charles Taylor could leave Liberia, ECOWAS was involved.
What?
ECOWAS was involved with the leaving of Charles Taylor from Liberia.
But
Absolutely. Before Taylor was
Armstrong into it.
Yeah, before Taylor was taken out of here, ECOWAS was involved.
Yeah, I know that, but ECOWAS did not fully cooperate.
They had to pass through ECOWAS as well to give him asylum to Nigeria.
That's what ECOWAS did. The ECOWAS plan is to keep it in Nigeria. Even they would have their point. But here what happened? As long as these people they call the West are looking for something, they will do everything they can to even weaken your society to get it. That's what they are capable of.
But we cannot live as an island. We have to live in conjunction with other African countries. ECOWAS happens to be a regional organization. I don't agree with most of the decisions they take. I don't agree with some of the things they do, but we still have to be in the Committee of Nations. We can't say, oh, because you guys misbehave or your rules or you don't help or you don't participate in this.
And especially when you are a founding member.
Yes. So I just jumped into your discussion, but let me bring
You're welcome, Chief.
Yeah. Let me bring
ST.
Thank you. I know you told the man to not send me the link today.
No
way.
Listen, you want to send the link?
Be suspended. I think it should be suspension.
But
I got
Yeah, but that may expose the man 100 concubines. That's why.
Okay, guys. Look, thank you very much for being there. I've been so busy, my brother. Even while I was here in our house of staff coming, we doing our to do now. So, but here is the thing. I don't like for us to touch a story and then we let it go. I like consistency. I like following through, and following through is very, very important. And we want to say welcome to Brooks. Brooks is one of our guys down there. So when Sheku is not there, he will be there. We usually will post Sheku in Ziale Tule. So when we're ready, sometimes we'll pull Brooks in Ziale Tule, no problem. But my Wesley, I shouldn't use that word. I'm gonna find my own word to use. Look, this government is a mess. This government, they are starting on the bar footing. They are making concession. They are approving concession agreements, especially those ones that people like Joshua will not even deal with. When I say anything, I can laugh.
Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah. You see, I don't take my position. I thought he want to overthrow me. We even know where he want to overthrow me. So that I can't understand. Because if Joshua refused something, Joshua was in a dire need for companies to come to Liberia. He was in a dire need for people to come and invest in the country so his government can have the kind of morale, the kind of money that he wants, and provide the kind of private sector job so his name can go in government. But if he refuses to recognize and re-sign HPX, and Joseph Boakai is scrambling over HPX. They are scrambling over the guys. They want to sign that contract so bad. They want to get in there and sign the contract. That's how bad it is. And we also want to talk about the legislative, the representatives for the Speaker set up a committee to go to Cape Mount. Now we know that we can confirm 3 people dead in that saga, and the lawmakers went there, including Yeke Koluba. I saw a video where he was telling the people to come to the hall and everything. It seems calm there. But like yesterday, Arthur argued when I started to think about Arthur argument. Is Arthur right that the company has no culpability? And that's something I want something for all to think. Does the company have no culpability? Just because they have given the money to the government, just because they line the pockets of the lawmakers, just because they line the pockets of the county officials, just because they are paid their taxes, just because they are paid their royalty, do they have any culpability from the shooting that took place that killed 3 people, the ERU and the PSU? I want to differ with Arthur a little bit. He has a point that, look, If I go there, I don't care if the people government charge me, do this, do that. Once I pay, you don't come here and then ask me why I'm not doing what, because it's not in the agreement. Or the government say, give us the money, we will do it. But my information is that it is the company that called the police.
Okay.
And I get it. There's a riot. The company has the right to call the police. How did they call the police? Whether they get a small thing to put it in Zico, I don't know. Because in Liberia, when they get small thing, they put you in Zico.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we want to talk about. The people are still dismissing, the people are still transferring people and removing people from their job, even though the Civil Service Agency has said that don't take anybody from anywhere for now. We are doing the Civil Service audit. But they are doing it already. They're doing it at the Public Works Ministry, they are doing it at Health Ministry. They are still transferring people. Those are, for me, they are concerns. Why Joseph Boakai government will not wait? How is it urgent for them to remove people now, to put their own people there? And civil service professionals, like directors of programs, these are people not supposed to be touched because they are technicians. I understand if you come into government, you want to put your own people there, but civil service technicians, they are not supposed to be touched like that. Even here, when president take over, they can change all the presidential appointees, everybody remain in their job. They don't go and start switching people around. You are director here, no more. I can't put my own person there. They don't do that kind of stuff. So those are things that we need to look at. But I want to go to, after you've been talking before, King, but I want to go back to you. On this Kema thing, guys, we shouldn't leave the Kema thing like that. We should continue to discuss it until result comes. Because in Liberia, they say, oh, they don't mind the media poll. They'll just take it now. In less than 5 minutes time, they'll forget about that thing and that's it. Because they don't think that we can follow through. Actually, I want to go back to you. And this does not mean that you don't care about human life. Let me put that disclaimer for you. It doesn't mean that you don't care about human life. All of us here care about human life. Your argument is legalistic. It's procedural, it's protocol. I want you to go back and say, how would you come up with an analysis that the company had done its job? It's not to be held responsible. Why wouldn't you be held responsible?
Thank you. Like in America, like every part of the world, if you perceive a threat, you call the authority. You don't take law into your own hands. In this case, that's what the company did. They perceive a threat. They did not send their own goons out there to beat people to death or shoot people. They call the sole authority of the country, the Liberia National Police, and say, hey, we have a problem. Somebody burning down our equipment. And the police are there to protect life and property as well. Now, you ask a question, if the company have some sort of responsibility. In the sense of morale, yes. By moral standard, they can say, look, these are our people we're working with, and we don't, what happened yesterday with the police, we did not call the police to start shooting our employees. We called the police to stop the riot. They can do that. But that's based on their own nature of all the relationship they have with the community. Maybe that company is tired with the people in that area. They don't want to be there anymore, so they don't care about the citizen. That's one. Number two, the police, according to the information minister, said that the people that were protesting came with arms. So the police are somewhat responsible, but we need to wait until the full investigation is clear. Because if you go to protest with arms, it's no longer peaceful protest. You are challenging the authority of the police. They will respond. Even in America, police officers stop you. When you want to reach in your glove bag, you let the person know you muted, Mr. Giroux, you muted. You muted. So if police officers stop you, you want to reach in your glove bag.
I heard the thing the information minister said. For me, it's baloney. Gerald Limit Pierre need to be careful because that's the problem they have. That's the problem they have. You talking about arm, we don't get no information, no picture, no video that to see people with arm in their hands, to see people with cutlasses coming towards the police. We don't see any of those. And Gerald Limit Pierre wants to tell the Liberian people. They start lying so soon. And that's why Brother Sally said these are lesser liars, Arthur.
But this is why I said the company had nothing to do with it.
Brother Sally, Brother Sally, if the government if the police realizes that those guys have weapons with them, arms, are we not going to see them by now? Will we see the weapon that the police carry? Is it not possible that we see picture, video, and stuff like that? Why would they say are they trying to justify why the 3 people were killed? I don't get. I think Jeremy Pierre is drinking water through somewhere. I don't think that's from him out.
That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to cover themselves. But again, I said those people are lesser liars, because if you're trying to cover yourself, show some proofs. I mean, we can't take your words for it. Give us convincing proofs. Bring cogent reason. Hey, we caught this guy with arm. Hey, bring. Where's your evidence? You either put up or you shut up. So when it comes to the company, when it comes to culpability, for the company, I don't know if they are culpable for anything, but what I have said yesterday, and I will still say is...
Mr. Jerry, there's some feedback. ST, wait, there's some feedback. I can hear your voice.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about culpability on the part of the company, Babe Mountain, but they also need to develop a community outreach policies. There are so many companies around the world, even here, that it's not in their contract that, hey, you have to do X, Y, Z, but you as a company, that if I want to remain in business, I have to also develop community-friendly policies. I have to be able to inject something into the community, because in such a poor environment, to see for the communities to look at how you are living and the things you are doing, and they're just in complete darkness, there's complete poverty all around them, and you extracted all these things from their community, even though you signed a contract concession agreement with the government. But you as a person, you need to know that, hey, we need to protect ourselves, and the best way to protect yourself is by engaging the community, because the community can also become your protection, or else you leave yourself vulnerable. It's like you try to be the only one rich man amongst poor people, you're already vulnerable to attacks and other things. So they should devise some policies, and so every company does it. They have community outreach policies where they support community programs. They put money into this thing for youth development. They put money into this thing. Say, hey, this community, let's give them maybe clean water, pipe pump, hand pump. Let's do something with their school. Let's put a computer in their school. There are things you got to do for the community that don't have to be in your contract. So when you feel, then that is called expediency. So when you don't do that, of course, the people are watching you. It's just the people become a time bomb. They're waiting for that opportunity, and when they come, they will ready pounce on you. And that's what we saw for 10 years. These communities that hosted this BEMA, the 15 years I spent in Nigeria, I worked with communities, okay? And those oil companies, there were 3 oil companies, Daewoo, Share, Bro, and some other people. They ran their pipelines, and their pipeline ran through 21 communities, and those are called host communities. So what do? The youth can get restless, they can get violent, they can agitate for anything. So they have community outreach program where they engage non-governmental organizations, CBOs, community-based organizations, or some civil society organizations, and they put money and they sponsor skills acquisition program.
Right.
So, macro enterprises, they did all these things. All of that is to help live and improve the quality of life for the communities that are hosting their companies, because they know if these people are not pacified tomorrow, they will jump on them. So you got to do those things. So Babe Mountain should have known that as a company operating in communities, there are some incentives that you got to give to those communities to develop that community-friendly policy.
Section let me read something here. Section Section 11.2 of the Mineral Development Agreement between Beer Mountain and the Republic of Liberia states that the company may, or directly or by contract with the responsible to provide its own security services, establish, manage, and maintain its own assets and employee security and protection services for the purpose of protecting assets in the production area and in the immediate vicinity of other locations at which the company has or maintains property or assets through its own security force, and to do so always in accordance with the law and rules and regulation promulgated by the Ministry of Justice. So, in other words, the government of Liberia gave Beer Mountain the opportunity, the right to have its own security, but it seems to me that they reached to a point where their own security can no longer handle the situation. They called in the police. The police came. The riot was still ongoing. One of the yellow machines were set on fire. According to one of the protesters, said that it was due to the firing of the police. When they emptied their magazine, the shot caught the yellow machine, and the yellow machine caught fire. I don't believe that. I just say that. As much as I'm on the side of the people, I don't believe that it was because of the shooting. I think they set fire on the yellow machine. My problem is, how can the police itself, when they went there, what did Beer Mountain told them? Did they say, and Brooks, if you are in Liberia there, if you want to contribute to this, what did Beer Mountain tell them? Did they say, oh, you know what, these people get guns, they want to kill us, or we want you to get them out of here, or this is something we want you to clear the area? What was the information passed on to the police that they came and started to shoot? Because before you shoot, there must be clear and present danger, right? Those of you did security, after you security men, there must be clear and present danger to the life of the security man to be able to use lethal force before we can, that you cannot use lethal force if your life is not at risk. People throw rocks, yes. One of the police officers got caught on his lips, yes. But these people don't have arms. They don't have arms. And our people, if they continue to justify, the government is justifying that.
There's absolutely nothing to justify, because when you go into that kind of situation, you have to escalate from one level to another level to another level. The first thing, you give verbal command, try to diffuse the crowd. You can use tear gas to send people home. You can do, there are so many other things. Lethal force should be the last resort. This should be the last resort that you use. And that is because somebody's life is in imminent danger. Your life or somebody's life is in imminent danger. But there are so many things. That's why if they're throwing rocks, that's why they have the riot gear. If they call you and say there's a riot, of course the police should go there with their riot gears and everything, their shields and armor. Yeah, there are things that they can wear to go there to defuse and go there first, assess the situation, see what's going on, talk to people, do some reconnaissance, talk to people, investigation, and find out exactly. And if you see the crowd is still getting rowdy, then you can escalate to another level. Okay, we got to disperse these people. Let's do some tear gas and shoot some tear gas. Put on your gas mask and do. There are so many steps, but to just go there and the first thing is to start shooting, you are going to infuriate the people. So I don't know at what point the yellow machines were set on fire. Was it from the beginning, or was it as a result of the escalation of the police?
And that's a great question you are asking. That's a great question you're asking. What? Yeah.
Jepsy, let me redirect you to the session, the article you just read. When I tell about people in our government are lazy and they don't even know what they're writing most of the time, they take the people document that they take from a foreign country, they sign it. The session said Beer Mountain may have its own security. Instead of saying personnel, they said force. You see the language different there?
Yeah.
Criminal justice, any security
That
force.
one word is
Yeah,
important.
it changed everything. You see, thank you, ST. That one word changed everything. Security force. You can't have security force. What they using the force for? You see, this is a problem in our country because our people are so lazy. They didn't read that agreement. It was written by Bill Margie or lawyers, and just dumping in their life. They sign it. That's what they're doing. Why would Bill Margie? They should have their own security personnel, because you still have to hold them down. That they are only there to observe and report, not to engage.
But in the first place, other legislature, like here Congress, they still have their own lawyers.
Yeah.
Okay? They have their own lawyers.
Oh yes.
Every document that comes, the House of Representatives, the Senate, they got their own lawyers that review these things to look at the term. Who are the lawyers for the representative or the senators in Liberia?
Let me bring another thing. Even in America, right? If it's a bill, you know what they do? They just go to the top university, get some top student from them, and say, look at this, and you will get this.
Yeah.
In Liberia, our senator or representative don't even want to look at any student to say they can't do research. Here, look at the bill. Tell me what's wrong with it. I'll pay for your semester that coming up. This is what made Ghana to be very strong when it comes to linguistics and immigration status. In Ghana, all the people they giving a green card in Ghana, you made one political mistake, you are deported. One. As an African American leaving for America, going to Ghana, one political mistake, you will be sent back to America.
The thing there is, one thing there is, if you come to notice and see how the government is coming in with this situation, they are one way or the other embarrassed.
True.
The government itself is embarrassed with the situation. Clearly speaking, for the fact that the state security will go there and shoot on the citizen or shoot at the citizen, they are totally embarrassed. So they will have to find a way, the children can say cajole them, to cajole the mind or the public to see how best they can fit in between. To see
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It is totally wrong. It is totally wrong to use firearm against the citizen.
But Brooks, look at this. It's not only totally wrong. What I don't understand about this administration, it's wrong what the police did, and even the approach to what the police did.
It's wrong.
Why should the Speaker of the House be the one setting up committee? What's wrong with the executive? That is not the job of the Speaker of the House to do. It's because the executive, the president, has not done anything. So the Speaker has to fill in that void. Once that thing happened, the president in 24 hours should have had a press conference, should have done things. That's why they have the Ministry of Information. They got the Office of Press Secretary. Those are the people that get all the day-to-day information. And they brief the president that, listen, we heard there's a tension in Cape Mango brewing right now, and the police have been sent there. 3 people have been shot. We're still monitoring the situation. It's still fluid. We're gathering intel on that information, and the president should be briefed, and the president should be the one to set up a team to go there. It's not the job of the Speaker of the House. Where is the president?
ST,
where is he?
ST, let me say this. Even if I was part of the police that goes there, as a police officer, your primary duty is to investigate. That's it.
Yeah. Gather intel.
You go there, I will get both sides of the story. Go to the protesters and pull your way. Everybody, wait, what happened? Don't move away. Just stay where you are. What happened?
That depends how professional you are.
Then I'll go back to the company. Okay, the people out there, what happened with you and them? The company will give me that part of the story. I say, okay, now the guy that out there said that you did this, and you saying that they did this. You as a company, how you think this can be resolved without violence? Because I need to have a stable point to go back out there with. because I'm a law enforcement. I'm not an army. I have the law to obey. So I have to tell the company that at the end of the day, I'm the law enforcement. That's one failure for the police. I would say lack of training. Let's throw that in.
Yeah, because one of my trainings I completed for security, and we're talking about crowd control. Yeah. If you go into that kind of situation, it is advised you first gather intel, look around, and just looking around, you will know exactly who the ringleaders are.
Thank you.
You identify, you pinpoint the ringleader, you engage them directly, get them out of the crowd. They're the one that can talk to their own people.
Their own people.
Look on every side where it's not, where that breaks down, then you escalate to another level. But to just go in there, you've not even listened to the people, you've not even done any intel, you've not gathered any information. All you want is to shoot. Maybe, who knows? Maybe the company getting some money. So they just wanted to please the,
There's this small town in Arkansas. They have this company, a processing plant. The plant superintendent and the plant manager, and they have this agreement, and then the employee back the manager, because the grievance from the manager is from the employee. Said that no, if you keep doing this, it will keep hurting our people. Even though I'm a manager, you want me to produce a result, but I can't push the people to the brain. It will destroy them. So the protest started between them. The superintendent, when he realized that he was in the wrong, the state police show up. When the state police show up, when both of them explained, said the crowd not going to go away. So the superintendent said, I have an idea. The way you about
let me tell the conversation a little bit. Let me tell the conversation a little bit.
So when they head on the superintendent, just 1 minute, when they head on the superintendent, dragging in front of the people, carrying him to the swamp car, they all were setting fire. But it was psychology.
Simple psychology.
Yeah. They all, he got arrested, yes. But as soon as they get to the station, there's a car there to take him home.
So many things, no company got money. No company got money. Arthur, I have gone to interview some of the company managers before. And I will not call certain company name here. This company had a serious problem. They were evicting people from Buchanan. And if I'll call the name, God damn it, I'll call the name. I already called the name because as soon as it Buchanan, everybody know the company already.
You're not a very good secret keeper.
They were evicting people from number 3 way. All that place that they said they wanted to develop the place, so they were evicting the people. So I went there, took some picture, interviewed the villagers, and they invited me into their office. For me, I got to get their side. As soon as I got there, they said, "Oh, Gibson, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, we got your information. The manager want to talk to you." When I entered the office, the man had $3,500 on the desk in the envelope, and thank God they didn't know me at the time. Because I've done it many times. That's why my colleagues, sometimes they don't like me. So we did an interview. I was about to go and say, Mr. Editor is here, say, this is your gas money. And I said, no, thank you. I took my vehicle, so I have gas. I said, no, thank you. He was shocked. He came behind me outside. We walked to my car. When I was in the car, he tried to slip it through my window. I said, no, that's okay. I don't want to see everybody looking. I don't want anything. I will come back, and then we'll do it quietly. That's how I escaped the car.
Yeah, psychology.
So these people, they know how to make things work in their interest without any sweat. But here's the way I wanted to tilt it. And I want you, Sally, to contribute to this too. Do you really think the people in Grand Cayman County understand the mineral agreement? Do they know exactly what the company is supposed to be doing? Because if Gibson Jerry knows that his boss is supposed to be providing him with a work phone, and that work phone is not provided, Gibson knows that he's not going to give him work phone. Are the people actually aware whether the beer Martin is supposed to be giving them 50,000 every month or 10,000 every month? Are they aware that the government already told beer Martin, you're not supposed to do this, we will do this, and then they transfer that anger towards government? Or are they using the anger against Bill Mountain, pressure Bill Mountain, and then Bill Mountain will pressure the government. What is happening here?
That's the problem. You know, I was on the show this morning and we were talking about a topic. Wow, what was the topic? Empowering community initiative for, you know, sustainable development, something like that. You know, and it's a fault of leadership. Okay. I will give you an example. A company came from China, multi-million-dollar company. They came to one of the states in the US and they wanted to do some chemical plants. All the local leaders have been bribed, the state house and all the state senate, all the, you know, the bribe commissioner, everybody.
Missouri.
They were in their park. I think Missouri, some of the documentary there, I can find that documentary. They bribed all of them, they accepted, they signed everything, but they have to meet with the community. They got to host town hall. So they got to go knock from door to door, invite people to the city hall, and people sit down. The company had to present their portfolio, the project they want to do, the benefit of the project. The people, the ordinary people had to ask questions. And by the time they started asking questions, the company, the first meeting, they had to suspend it because some of the questions they were asking were too revealing. So they had to go come back, they bribe some other, then they start going from door to door, bribing some other residents. But the high-head one still said, no, we got to know. They realized putting this okay, environmental impact on our, they took this and that company contract was canceled. They didn't do it. Now, that question you asked, that is where government's supposed to start from. Concession agreement not supposed to be taken care of in Monrovia, finished in Monrovia. No, the host community got to be, they are the key stakeholder. What Liberia practice in sustainable development, there are two approaches. One of them is top to bottom and bottom to top. Okay, when a decision is coming from the top and going down to the bottom, you don't care about the people. You don't give a damn about how they think, what they feel, what happens to them. But and those projects always usually fail, like the Babe Mountain. But when you do bottom to top approach, that means you're involving the communities, they as key stakeholders. So while you got your senators, your representatives, the Senate meet, they're supposed to take the company in the county, call the people to a town hall. We got this company here, they want to come and do XYZ because there's going to be ecological and environmental impact. These people will be affected. So they got to have a say. The company had to present their portfolio, explain to the people, give the people the opportunity to ask questions, especially the major question is what's in it for us. They got to know these things. So it becomes a complete partnership. It becomes a cooperation. So the people know what's there. The company knows their responsibility. The government knows that they're supposed to do monitoring and evaluation to make sure this company is in compliance with all Liberian labor laws, with all Liberian environmental laws, with all Liberian social laws, the social contract, not just the concession, but what about the social contract? How do these people come in? So the people are key players. They are stakeholders. How do you skip the people and you have some dumb senators who don't read anything? The people bring the stack of paper, put it to them, and they bring the paper with a brown envelope on top. They don't care about what's in the paper. They just take the brown envelope, they sign, they just send the people there.
My brother, they bring in a sheet.
It's
they
a
bring
leadership.
a sheet like this. The envelope is like this.
Yes.
The envelope is on
They put it right there.
Lay
Yes.
it down on your desk.
Wow.
That's what they do.
They just take it and just sign. They don't open that book.
No, they just pull that thing, sign and draw in a drawer. They just pull that drawer like this and drop it inside and sign the document because that's what, look, the greediness of our government officials is the problem. They are so greedy that they forget. I mean, Brooks, you live in Liberia. Look at the attitude of the government officials. Look at the way they behave.
It said that Edwin Snow and another person went which company and waved how many $1 million to the company because of
Western Cluster.
How do you treat people like that?
Why will you waive anything at all?
And
What
the
is the rationale of
contract
anything?
of Western Coastal said they cannot move ore through trucks. They got to build railroads to move these ores. And they got the people moving those things through trucks. Those are environmental
he did
impacts.
that. He did that. That's why the protests were by. He went to, I don't know, India, whatsoever, to get additional money to chop the people up. But that matter still pending, though, because
why do we keep treating ourselves? Why do we keep treating our people like that?
Now you talk about this lonely thing. Now you should be aware of what the HPS gonna do. You know,
and a government who should be with the people, for the people, and by the people.
No, for the company.
When such a thing occur, such a situation, the government should be moving, because it is the government that went into agreement and brought in these investors. So when the people are dissatisfied, when the people are not pleased, are unhappy, the government rather should be moving in line with the people and engaging the company, other than going to prevent the company and defend the company, defend the company and harm the people. So why you brought the company? Why you brought the investors? To harm your people?
Doesn't care for
look at what Jerry Limit Pierre is saying. Look at what Jerry Limit Pierre is saying. That one said putting square pegs in round holes is always a problem. You put Jerry Limit Pierre as information minister. Why? Why you put a man as information minister? Because you go on social media and talk.
Gibson, you know, the Bouakai regime missed a big opportunity to make their file valuable. Let's say the guy that got shot, and I was President Bouakai, and I know this happening, you had to show force for the people to see that, oh, our papi for us. You were right. If I were Bouakai, it would be a joint security thing going for all of them. I'll send the army, I'll send the Moravia National Police, whatever. It will be a convoy going for all of them, including their superintendent. I carry you go to town so we can figure out what happened. You killed 3 people. I'm responsible for those people's life. I will be standing there as a president saying, look, the whole thing here, all of them, they go into town. Now, new people will be here. While the internet, we're going to figure out, they put that down, they're on my head. But I will make sure I will find out who doing it. All of them are here will talk, including the superintendent for the police. All of them will talk. You do it, this is what we're talking about. Any paper can, we told you the paper.
How can that work?
The problem is our
leaders. Wait. Brooke said
show force, it will calm people down. But now,
hold on a minute. Brooke said why you said Jonah cannot work? Why, Brooke? Why cannot work?
I cannot work when there's an unknown tune.
Oh,
we are getting some information that the company was heavily, deeply or secretly involved with the campaign.
No, you're right. That one I withdraw my case because I visit with him.
I cannot work.
So you're selling your country out, you know, because you see in Nigeria when I was there, I think it was during the time of the governor Babalola Fashola in Lagos. Yeah. He was the governor. He was building a road from Iyanampaja to Iyanamba. Okay, it's a 4-lane expressway. And it's a Chinese company that built that road. When they said they were done with their job and went to deliver the contract, Babalola Fashola, the governor, went to inspect that contract. Came out of the car, he walked around, he looked at the contract, he called the manager of the company. He said, is this how you guys build roads in China?
Yeah.
Why is this not on the road? Why is this one not there? Why is this not there? Why is this not there? There's no shoulders, there's no drainage here, there's no guardrails here. By the time he finished with that, he said, if you don't go back and fix it, you will not get any more contract. The next day they were there. I drove on that road many times. Okay. Our own government lacks will. Even if they give you something for your campaign, let them know that Liberian labor law, we have Liberian labor law. We have environmental safety regulations. We got other things that, you know, you got to follow compliance. You know, just because people pay you money don't mean they should skip the gun. They got to do the right thing. The problem is we lack political will. We lack will. We need a complete paradigm shift. And I did not think this JMB administration would do. When they started recycling all the crooks from Ellen Johnson, I knew that it's going to be a problem.
Steve, to add to you, in Ghana, right? The Chinese people, they lower their DS7 Caterpillar machine on the people, Ghana people road that already paved with concrete and were moving. They direct the commissioner in the area show up. He said, "What? Who authorized you to put the machine down?" You know how many damages you're doing to the road? That you do that in China? Can you do that? Can our Ghana man go to China and lower my machine on your road? The man like, busman, sorry. No. You call the police. You call the police and arrest all of them, seize the machine. The police got in that Johnny and they put it back on the truck. The truck pulled it to
I watched that clip once.
The young man, that was young man, that old man that they would give $10,000. They tried to rob him, but it didn't work. Because
okay, guys, let me post something. Let me change the narrative. Something really sad happening in that would be something that would take us home. We will have at least 1 minute or 2 minutes on it and brainstorm on it. This is a developing story. Somebody sent me a picture in Monrovia. This guy was accused of power theft.
Oh yeah.
Okay. LEC accused this guy of power theft.
I saw that story.
And then what it did was, instead of them cutting the wire or instituting or bringing in the security or the police, they jumped on the man and beat the man to death. The guy sent me the name. His name is Josephus Tupe. He was beaten by the Liberian Electricity Corporation power theft team. He lived in Corwell. And this incident happened at 2 p.m. Liberian time. So the team said when they went to Tupe's house, he was stealing LEC, he was stealing theft, stealing current. So there was a confrontation that developed between him and the team. And despite the guy refusing, ran to a neighbor house. Tuber was chased, he was beaten, and currently as we speak, his body has been deposited at a local clinic in the area.
Yeah.
But what happened? After that, the team escaped. Let me put a guy picture on the screen. Let Liberian people see what is happening here. How can you, okay, you got the right to go and turn people, you got the right to turn people's stuff off. If they are stealing, you go there, turn it off, have this thing here. Call the police, go along with the police, go along with, if you want to bring the AFL people, if you think it's good for you, bring AFL people, bring a whole pickup full of police people. How can, this is the guy, Josephus Tuber.
Yeah.
Handsome man like that.
They beat the man until they killed the man because he stole power. He stole LEC light.
When I threw him in a clinic.
They beat him. They left him dead, and they took him and carried him to the clinic and left him and ran away. Now we don't know who is it, but I know state security bureau identified the people. How can you? The domestic theft, is that the way to go about it? I'm not going to say any much. Let me start with Brooks.
Yeah, actually, I came across the story just about earlier this evening, when I watched the wife of this guy, Tugbe, narrating the story on Spoon Talk. And I was like, wow, you mean LEC?
Killing people?
You mean our own LEC, our electricity people? When the madam explained that, exactly what you said, Chief, how they ran after the guy because they have another shop in the neighbor there, and it was where he ran to the neighbors, and they chased after him. Is that how you control power theft? By going after people to beat them? What a country. Instead of the law being the law is becoming lawless. The law itself is becoming lawless. The implementers. But now the lady has been turned into a widow by the government. forcibly turned to whip, and she was in tears. I could not withstand her narration. Actually, I could not withstand that. I'm thinking, where are we headed to?
So after you are security, I always refer to you because you are security man. The theft team, if you look at them, they are almost like they should be security minded too. You know, before you can go investigate theft, you must be security minded. But I know they may not be proper security. But if you went somewhere, they sent you, they say go and look for people who can steal our current. You go and see that the man is stealing your current. And you try to cut the current, the man is put a resistance. Is it not possible that you go and get police people and say, this man is stealing the current, we try to disconnect it, he's trying to fight us. Do you have to, even you trying to fight the man ran away from you.
Yes, no threat. The threat already gone because he ran away.
Yeah, the man diffused the threat, he ran away from you. He ran to go and free himself from the confrontation. You ran behind the man, killed the man, take the man back to the clinic and ran away.
Gibson, you know, remember yesterday I said the same thing, right? I said, if what's the Liberian citizen life is worth, you know, this is the same thing. Almost, you know, even if you are there to enforce power theft, you don't have the arresting power. It's already in the law. You don't have arresting power. I will blame the former city mayor, Mary Brough. That's her tactic that killed this man. Because they think that everything had to be through force. If somebody install power on their house illegally, you will require the police to read he or she or right for that. That's what the law says. It's a misdemeanor in Liberia when President we are passing power theft. Now you have this problem with this guy. Maybe your arm rustled a little bit, and he ran away because you overpower him. The entire threat is gone. I would have just cut the wire or take the bus and left because he got to go buy a new one. But you see, the people that we entrust with those sort of responsibility, that not people with this man family just lost. How much is your electricity? Let's say the man own 10 months. How much would it amount to? $100 US, $300 US. So this guy's life ends because of what? $90 US or $3? Because this is the thing that you showing me the picture, it disturbs me. This man, that young man will promise
young man, bro.
You know,
young
so
man,
electricity. I'll ask the question. Say LEC paying power, how much money they send back to the national government? National government always paying for their budget. They're not sending money into the budget.
You killed this man because he stole tax.
What
Okay,
reason?
stealing LEC is illegal. But it's
Yeah,
not like that.
Mr. Gibson, it's a misdemeanor. It's not even a felony.
Are you kidding me? You beat the man until you kill the man for stealing a current?
Misdemeanor.
You should watch and listen to
I don't know what kind of country we have sometimes when I sit down.
I wonder
whether we are doing anything to improve the country at all.
People
are just stuck in their mindset, in their gear one. They don't want to flex up a little bit. They don't want to. They get in there and they think they are fine. And
the problem, Gibson, the problem is Morovia. People in Morovia, I can assure you, they get different way of behaving. They don't even live in an area of living among human beings as a society. Go in Morovia, Mr. Jero. That EW junction, I got there in my car. The police also grabbed this young man by a belt. They put him left, right, left. They're going all over the place. I get out of my car, my father said, no. I said, no, I'll get out. I get out, I said, man, stop. Because he remembered me, I brought a bunch of handcuffs and shared with them, you know, and I kept going on myself, you know. So I said, man, stop. Until the beginning, he rules. So I said, rule, it doesn't break the law. The man have the right to insult you. You know, The man who you were putting left and right, I started talking. The victim, he's calm, but the police officer is still agitated. That's my man. I had to grab him on the chest and stick him on the car. I said, "Stop, calm down. People are watching you." Then he stopped. I said, "What the man did?" He said, "He pushed me." I said, "Okay, move a start." I took my own haircut. I said, "My man, can't you wear me?" He called me. I said, "You under arrest for assault on a police officer. You have the right to be silent. Anything you say will be used against you in court. If you can't afford a lawyer, the city of Monrovia will provide one for you. Now, if you have anything to say, he said, "Papa, let me ask you one question." He said, "Papa, do you get a high?" He asking the police officer.
Yes. Thank you very much. Let me hear from Brother Salif.
This man died for nothing. For nothing.
Yeah, the thing is, I think we are encouraging a culture of violence, and that is why I feel very angry and upset when I see what the CDC and the UP partisans do. We came from war. We came from 14 years bloody civil war. We should be the last people to militarize our youth. But you see the Liberian youth all over the place, all the police, all day they're crying war cry. Oh, say, they're wearing beret, they do it. You cannot militarize the youth, because those same militarized youth are the ones that will go to the police. They are the ones going into those task force. I mean, a power theft should not be a death sentence. The team should not be the judge, jury, and executioner. The worst you can do, or the best you can do, you know the man's home, you've been there. You can go and issue a writ of summons for the man. Let him come to court and appear in court. He should have he should have a fair hearing in the court of competent jurisdiction. He's entitled to a fair hearing. Summons the man. Where he doesn't show up, issue a writ of arrest for the man. And then while you in his home, remove all the wire, cut all the wire, remove everything, the box, everything, take it and issue that writ. That's the procedure you got to do. I said, even if you private security, the only one group has the power to enforce the law, and that is the Liberian National Police. So you call on them. You can't go there and take the law in your hands. But the thing is, all our youths are being militarized by the politicians. You go on the university campus, you go everywhere, they are all militarized. They're wearing beret. They do. Why, for a country coming out of war, why do we think it is expedient for us to militarize our young people? It is wrong. So violence is a culture that we are promoting in our country. It should be discouraged. Now, on the side of the government, why haven't we heard about the arrest of that team that went to beat him up? It shouldn't take 24 hours. They know all of them. They know the people they assigned. They know all the people that went on that field. Those guys should be arrested and prosecuted in the court of law. They should feel the full weight of the law. They don't have that power to go and start beating up people. So why has the police, why has the information ministry, why nobody, with our social media, we won't be hearing most of these things. And we got people that
read what the OKFM wrote. It's pretty much the same thing we said. And the person that narrated the story to me was very careful. He said, in Caldwell, New Georgia, on March 1st, Josephus S. Tubet died under controversial circumstances, allegedly involving the LEC power theft team. The team accused Tubet's house of power theft, which escalated into a confrontation resulting in his death, despite seeking refuge at a neighbor's house. And I want you to mark that. I want you to underscore that. At a neighbor's house, Tubet's body was taken to the clinic where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. The power theft fled. The power theft team fled the scene following confirmation of Tubet's death, prompting demands for justice from his family. So this man, brother Salif, brother Arthur, this man ran away from y'all. He go to somebody's house. Y'all ran behind the man there and beat the man in the people's house and killed the man in the people's house.
They broke so many laws.
What kind of wickedness is that?
The power the man stealing, is it belonging to y'all? You're the thing.
The people sitting at the helm of affairs LEC, you know how much they're stealing every day? That's why
Every
LEC
day?
can work together.
You know how many people stealing every day?
And government do pay.
Somebody coming to send me the bill for those who are owing LEC. They get power, but they're not paying.
Why should that be a death
And
sentence?
Georgia Neal on the list too. I don't know how they put Georgia Neal, the men are president. I don't know how they put it.
The men are pay him pay. Why he kneel?
The real plow make or they can be plow. They say the man or a condominium they not paying. The man or
executive assumption.
No, you can't have executive assumption. Even Joe Biden house they pay light bill. The only exception should be at the executive mansion, not at his condominium. He's the leader. He should set
even their restaurant, even their local restaurant guy exception.
If you listen to the narrative of the wife,
are they going to go after Georgia to pay? Are they going to go after Joseph Boakai to pay? Joseph Boakai is owing LEC. They are not paying LEC since the last year.
If you listen to the narrative of Tuber's wife, if you listen to the narrative of Tuber's wife, she even mentioned that they are not on power theft. They had a meter in the house. She was even inviting the team to go in and see the meter,
and they refuse.
Yeah, they did not do so.
I need school is still on.
You know, bro,
school is still on, so we'll not be able to get our testimony. But after school is finished, I will go there and get our testimony, man. And then tomorrow.
The reason why they refuse, you know that they already have inside information. Let's say you are a field coordinator. I'm a field coordinator. Then instead of me registering that box I'm selling to the citizen, and then I didn't register it, I just mark and put it there under my own view. So that person might be paying, but they're not going to LEC direct account because
that they consulting, right?
Yeah, consulting.
I think that's right. I think that's the problem.
Coordinator,
I find out.
Yeah. I find out they say, okay, my man, I'm going to eat my own there too. That they go
because if he were getting a light in the proper way, he wouldn't have ran. He would have stood to say, hey, see all my stuff. So he would have been getting it on our hands. So, but that does not warrant a death sentence.
Look,
one thing I would like to flag, one thing I would love to flag is that the government, the UP-led government, they should remember that they were just a few days ago opposition, and they were flagging too many unexplained deaths under the past regime. They have a whole lot of things to talk about unexplained death. Now, how can they explain to the public about such a death for such, citizen life taken away?
In a matter of
we don't have a statement. We don't have a statement yet from LEC or the government.
Why? Why does it take so much time? That's
because the people don't know what to say. The people don't know what. Look at the statement the issue on it came out something. Look at the statement the issue that the people were having arms. They show no picture.
Yeah,
we arrested people.
No video.
Minister.
You should have them in handcuffs, arrested.
Are you
kidding me?
The
evidence with the arms showing to the world and the public.
Is that not what people do? When somebody get armed, you go there. Gerald Limit Pierre, because you may plow on social media for Ellie and JMB, so you now become information minister, and that's why we are having these kind of problems. A professional needs to. Let me see, guys. Hold on 1 minute.
Kind of facade for our
nation. Prince, you might be right too, Prince Double. You might be right, because if they can have it inside for safety, because it can be stolen. But the entire thing, Prince, those teams have no arresting power. They have no jurisdiction whatsoever.
They don't have it.
They don't have any jurisdiction at all to test that man. They should have called the national police, and the police will take it into law. But now the LEC have no arresting power. It has no prosecutorial power. It has no any power whatsoever. They don't have it. So, Prince, I might keep my meter in the house.
Let me read the comments, and then we'll close today. Tomorrow, tomorrow is Saturday. I think we have a guest. I'm not going to announce it until I'm sure before I become a liar. But let me read the comments here today. Let me start with Ophelia. Ophelia then beat then and said, "Bravo, guys, and thank you. We like that kind of encouragement when you come here and you communicate your feelings and you tell us how you feel about the show. We are very glad." Green, your patient Green said, "These people who want him are his pay agents." Ah, okay. I wasn't here earlier, but anyways, this guy says, "Hi, Arthur. You are on time today. Yay! Let's clap for Arthur." He's on time today. Sheku, where are you? Sheku ran away and left Brooks, but that's okay. Dyer Ogan say, "Ayubo Fami Pa Kuma." Say, the man speaking Yoruba, my people. I don't know that Yoruba is speaking, but I can't read that one there. Anyways, I don't know why they made decide to come to an English program and speak Yoruba. Oh man, I can't believe this. It's not fair. So how do we communicate his message? Nobody else speaks Yoruba. Nobody...
Skip it.
Anyway, the thousands of people that are listening, maybe maybe you can understand Yoruba. I don't even know what Yoruba was reading, but anyway, yeah, the guy put his Yoruba or whatever language he put on the English program. Okay, Lawa Josiva say, "Good evening, everyone. Good show. I'm following. Thank you. Keep following." This one's coming from Patrick Dixon. "Good morning, guys." Thanks. Yeah, now our man from Dubai, right?
Yeah.
Dubai, they're monitoring while we're going to be. He said, "Good morning." Thank you, Patrick. Go ahead and enjoy your morning. But we are about to go to bed. And this one is coming from Das Shepherd. He said, "I'm going to check your DM. I sent a picture." DM, what is DMI? These guys.
Direct message.
Direct message. All right. You see, thank you very much. I thought I'm a computer czar, but I'm not. I think it proved me wrong now. Let me go to this good message coming from this Facebook user. Say, "I think lawmakers are one that should be reminding construction companies about the agreement, most especially the provisions that have to do with the livelihood of the citizens of that said community." Definitely, I agree with that. There should be explanations of what the community should expect. There should be town halls. People should go there, lawmakers, people who are responsible, the Ministry of Finance officials, people from public work, people from any kind of concession agreement in the area in which the lands and mines. Send people there in the community, tell them what they're supposed to get. So they don't just go around accusing the company of what the company is supposed to give them when they don't really know. It's just disheartening to see people shooting people to death, killing 3 people just because of a protest. Augustine N. Massacre. I'm following from Dupo Road. Augustine, thank you very much. In Pittsville there. And he said, "Killing a person." And this is a statement I like to read. "Killing a person for electricity that is not even stable." It's not even stable. Worthless electricity that is burning home and destroying life too. Sad. Now you have an electricity corporation that is not. First of all, that's something we discussed again. Why LEC is using 220 in Liberia? At the Great America, with all the power they use 110.
Yeah.
Why are they using 220? And the 220 keep killing people. We just learned that somebody's house got burned again and people die inside.
I tried to discuss that on one of the shows, and people came with noise. There are 2 words that are affecting Liberia: inferiority complex and mediocrity.
Yeah.
To think that Liberia should be imitating Nigeria. Liberia life has been 110. Okay? Since the war, all the infiltration of Nigeria, I don't know when everything just started changing to 220, and yet you did not do the rudimental things.
All right.
To be able to
guys, let me read the comments because I will leave you guys and you, Brooks. And you see, after in my chair already, he overthrew me today. I don't mind. Anybody can overthrow me. I will resurrect some other time. Let me go to Prince Double says, "Yes, lots of people have the meters in their houses. I was shocked to see meters in people's houses." And this one is coming from Lawa. They say, "Boakais and his power grid boys lack administrative procedure. Just 1 month in power. His talks have killed over 2 to 3 civilians and brutalized over hundreds of them. They are unable to complete calm, peaceful protesters down." Similar thing happened on the main campus of the University of Liberia. The same Gregory Coleman that sent his thugs during Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration of Eugene that killed many citizens that the same man Phil Boakai appointed as police director. But yet, then still he says, I don't know what is that, ELL, I don't know, maybe rescue. But let me go to the Prince Double say, no, Arthur Ed Solo Sr., these people have their meters in the houses because it is outside. If it is outside, it can be stolen. True, my meters is right on my water tower, but it's in a fence, so no monkey can go in and steal my meter. But people put their meter in their living room or somewhere there that they can monitor that meter. Otherwise, people steal it and sell it. Very, very easy. It's a hard commodity like in Monrovia. And Gibson Jeru, the lady said it was one of her rental properties. She was not referring to, she was not living, one of them living in the house. Okay, I guess that's what the man in Facebook used to say, wow, where is Liberia headed? And Prince Double comes back exactly. But the LEC guys are PSU officers with them. Oh, they have PSU officers with them. So why did the LEC guys have to beat the guy? The LEC guys should have given the PSU officers the chance to do their job by arresting the guy instead of killing him. Exactly. This is my own guy here, Lance Blackie's son. And those are the, turn to the last message here. The thinking, wicked, dancing with the devil, and disgraceful record-setting mission is sadly on course in our beloved country, Liberia. And finally, for this message, and I will leave you guys, and Brooks will close the program for today. Lester Brancy, he repeated the same thing. So, but look, guys, let me just give my parting statement. Okay. I'm leaving because I have something urgent coming up, but Brooks will close it. Bruce, you can close the program, right?
Okay.
You can do that, right? So, guys, let me tell you, tomorrow or maybe next week, let's discuss the power thing. Why LEC is using 220? We in America, that's also 110. As a result, all the material they are making in America, they make it with 110. I took my TV, the 100-inch, it's a 75, 80-inch TV to Monrovia.
It will blow it.
Blew off.
It will blow it off.
It blew the whole thing off. There's somebody house that got burned as a result of electrical shock. You got 220 degree, 20 circuit running through a wire. You got children. They don't have safety net. And you touch it right away, if Jack, electrocute you, you're dead. But hey, man, guys, great show. Great show. I keep late, but we still enjoy the show. And I say thank you very much, guys. And Brooks is here for the first time. We'll sack Sekou and bring Brooks forever.
Oh, man, you can't sack Sekou.
Sekou can be sacked.
Sekou best. So, guys, thank you very much. And I'll be watching, but I'll be in the background.
Okay, thank you so much. Time has caught up with us. We build ourselves, through a lot. So we are at the point to say goodbye and commend our commenters, those who follow, and all we have to comment and then give a thumbs up and say goodbye. So we begin with Sally to say final, do your parting comment.
Yeah.
All of what we have drew ourselves through.
Thank you, Brother Brooks. Liberia, we gotta get it together. JMB gotta get it together. They are under the microscope. They came under the banner of rescue. So if we gotta rescue, we cannot repeat the mistakes of the past. We gotta do it. This is just 1 month, few days. We got already 4 people, maybe 4 or 5 people dead. I think 3 or 4 in Cape Mount. And then this other gentleman now in Monrovia is you can't kill somebody because of power theft. It just doesn't make any sense. And the government got to speak to these issues and inform the public on these investigations. Those guys in the team, they should be arrested. They should be charged. They should have their days in court. They can't be flying around the place, because they took the laws in their own hands. There were so many ways to approach the issues. The same way in Cape Mount, the police has so many ways to approach the issues. But because we are we are grooming a culture of violence. We decided to militarize the youth, and we see it in all our political campaigns and all their, their gathering, they're chanting war chants. And I mean, we can't have that. We know where we're coming from. 14 years of brutal civil crisis that took over 250,000 people's lives. We don't want to go back to those days. Anything violence, we should run from that. We should flee from it. And so I'm calling on all political leaders. You got those thugs and those guns behind you. That's not the way to be popular. That's not the way to show strength. You show strength through your policies, proposals. You show strength through your example. You show strength through your integrity. It's not by putting thugs and guns behind you and militarizing our youth. It will catch up with us very soon in the future, and I think it's already starting now.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Salif, for being a part of the presentation on tonight, and it was a wonderful time, and we pray that the weekend already in Liberia, our time and our side here in Liberia, we'll be here by evening time in Liberia again. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
All right. Let's have Ada Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came enjoying you. So you.
Yeah, I'm from this used to be my show. I used to be a panelist, and then he changed it around. So yeah, I've been on this thing for a long time. Brother Sally is right, and I'm getting a goosebump when I look at this guy picture.
Yeah, such a young man.
Yeah, electricity in Liberia that can't even stay for 2 hours. You killing somebody for it? It's I don't know. But you see, I don't want to be Johnny Raincloud here, but we have a peaceful man that will in power, quiet, that don't say too much. We cause his mom and everything, throw banana at him. You say, my people, you're calm down. I will find a solution. When a rest problem happening, before they get there, the ship were there from Cote d'Ivoire, rest there. But here's this guy that came to rescue. The guy that came to rescue, not even 2 months in office. We have over 7 people dead. I don't know what Gudo Flomo is now, because he's the one that can always find dead body in Liberia. Before me, I tell Gudo Flomo that find a dead body already unidentified. We need a clear thinking people. We need to listen to our citizens. We need to pay attention to the need of the country. We have to start putting our pocket first. If you're a lawmaker, please read. If you can't read, get a university student from either University of Liberia. Then a lot of universities don't have to be LU in Liberia there. Get children there from there that can read a little bit. Say, read it to me, my son. Let them read it to you. Then that way you will get the idea what I'm talking about. Even they use the English word, say define that word clearly. So I don't know. But our people, they are too big to be corrected. Salif, that's the problem we have. People too big to be corrected. You tell the police officer, don't do this, it will crap. But man, you want to tell me how to do my job? You know who I am?
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's not about that. If you let me help you, you will be fine. This is why when they see people from the diaspora, they don't want you to visit them in their office. No.
They say you know too much.
If I come visit you in your office and I enter your office, then 2 girlfriends sitting on your lap, they are not your wife. I say, my man, you can't have women sitting on your lap in public office, man. This is not a club. You are not like that. Then, man, you can't get to tell me in my own office. No, that's the people's office. It's not yours. You are sitting in there working for the people.
We will not reach 12:30 in Liberia.
We'll reach 12:30. We'll reach 12:30. You can't add a circle that will put on the balance.
Because it's like you just left out to see your OPT.
Oh no. I get a lot of people to see it. My brother, you see it too, that's good. So we really want to have that common calmness. All our neighbors' country can be calm, then we'll just kill our own citizen, brother.
Yeah.
It's hurtful. Yeah,
Okay.
but we'll take it tomorrow. We'll talk about this tomorrow. And thank you, Brooks and ST.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you. Give up.
I always love to see you on the show,
Yeah.
Arthur.
Thank you,
I
brother.
hate to be alone on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you to all of you guys at ST, it's the Gibson, Jiru, and our commenters, those that follow the show. We want to appreciate all of you for being a part, and we are so grateful and humble to be in your presence and in your company as well, that God willing, we will be back here. And let me first of all appreciate Sheku Kuroma for ushering me in on the show for the first time, and it's been a wonderful and splendid time.
Your debut,
interacting with you guys. Yeah. So God willing, we resume this evening, Saturday in Liberia, our time, and we hope to come and meet our own people with what is unfolding in Liberia on a daily basis. But just before I go, there's this old parable I'm acquainted with. You can beat the old lady, can beat the rest, but she can shake the mortar. So this goes to our current government. The old lady can beat the rice, but she can shake the mortar. Thank you so much.
That's
and have a wonderful
bit of understanding.
You were explaining it.
Okay, we interpret it on today.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.